Fuck it. We're going live.
Deep throat one time.
There we go.
We're going live.
We're live.
He's gonna go live.
When are you going live?
I should.
Are we live?
You should
Are
probably
we
go
live?
live.
Are we live?
Uh-oh. Gizzard took off on us.
Oh, Jesus. We lost.
Jesus, we went
we're
live
lost
and
the chicken.
Gizzard lasted 3 seconds.
That's why he's been
That's what
married
she
3
said.
times.
The chicken's back. Watch
Oh,
out.
the chicken's back.
Yeah,
Be
Somebody,
careful which browser tab you close.
somebody,
Motherfucker himself.
somebody out there, let us know we're live if you would, please. That would be amazing.
Yeah, we're live.
Well, that means I have to.
Okay,
go
cool.
to it.
You might be live.
Are you drinking from your little, not little
I think
water
it's
bottle?
backwards. Is that
Yeah, I got
backwards?
my-
It's right
No,
side
you're
up
good.
for us.
It's upside down.
Nug E-boot.
It's upside down.
Your other upside down. Your other upside down.
Turn it right side up.
Now it's backwards. Turn it
There you
over.
go.
There you go.
Now it's 45 ACP.
Now it's backwards. Turn it over.
How about this
Turn
way?
it-
No,
turn it-
the other
turn it-
side.
If you turn it
So it's the
to
other side.
yourself,
There you
we'll
go.
be able
There.
to see it.
Is that better?
That's better.
Yeah, there you go.
Wait,
Right.
what kind of stain? Night Strike. What stain is that?
Jesus.
Christ.
You got a used one?
Man, wait, let me
Even.
smell it.
Oh,
Oh,
Does it smell like
kind of smells like
disappointment?
bleach
Does it smell like disappointment?
and despair.
Oh god.
whap, whap, whap.
Wah.
Wait, aren't we live?
Yeah.
Come on,
No.
settle
Doesn't
down.
matter.
We
We
are
are
live.
live.
I'm considering going back.
No, have you ever seen this show? It don't fucking matter.
Oh,
If I'm not on it, I don't watch it. I mean,
I don't watch it, even especially when I'm on it.
Yeah, neither do I.
Kingpin's out there doing warnings.
Uh-oh.
Jeez.
mm-hmm.
I should pay attention.
Where the hell is everybody? Why don't we have nobody in the chat here?
I don't know. Are the same
Frogs
gender
are still
attracted amphibians still going?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, they're talking about the magic bullet.
Oh, with Kennedy?
Yeah,
Oh,
or the
that-
magic loogie from Seinfeld.
That
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of magic bullet. I thought you were
Yeah.
talking an
There you
entirely
go.
different kind of magic bullet.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
Not
mean
the
the
kind in
off-brand
your back
food ninja?
That's in your sweat sock. They're obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shoot. Oh, boy.
I bet you it smells like bleach.
Oh, wait, just
Well,
like
now
this?
hold on. Midnight. I don't think we want Gun Snob in this chat. I mean, so far as he's the only person who who has sharpened a knife razor sharp, and then starts scratching his foot with it, his bare foot, and slices a chunk out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
G wants a chat battle. G's looking for trouble. He's out there causing trouble,
Now the other side cheats.
and he's
Yeah,
and he's
the
out
other
there
side
throwing. He's out there throwing links to other people's chats in my chat. That's bullshit. This guy out there. That's horrible.
Terrible, I told you.
That's just terrible.
turbo.
Terrible.
We do need to. We do need to figure out now that we need to figure out we have to have a game show night for sure, though. We do. That would be fun.
You pine.
Huh?
Name a word that comes after pork.
Oh,
You're
I've
fine.
seen that. I've seen that clip too. Yeah, that shit was hilarious. You pine, but you know what? I'll tell you what. As dumb as it is, all it has to be on Family Feud is somebody else has to say it. So as long as somebody else says that dumb shit, it still counts. You can still get points for it.
Mhm.
That's what's so perfect about that show. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be real. Just some other idiot has to say it on the street. You know. So
Survey says you're wrong.
they're talking Kennedy assassination. We're going to be chatting about probably a big chunk of the show will be about this New York craziness. But
What happened?
I heard
Did
something.
New York finally fall off into the sea?
They are annexing themselves into Canada. So we no longer. I am now
Wait,
in.
did they even touch Canada?
They
York
touched some of the
Canada?
lakes. So they touched some of the lakes, and they're going to count that.
We can always just redraw the lines. If it means getting rid of New York, we can work that out.
Well,
G said
okay.
they're willing to chat battle. Okay, if we want to do a how do we do it? We can do it. We can do a chat battle. That'll be fun. Front of the house versus back of the house. Cooks versus bartenders. This guy works. This dude only works like 3 hours a night. How is he going to have the stamina to do a chat battle?
How hard is it to open a beer, really?
I mean, how hard is it to serve endless wings and beer to people every Tuesday night?
All you got to do is this all night. Pull, 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 and then intermittently pull, 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 and then back to pull, pull. I mean, and he's making
No. He doesn't do the up and down. That's why he shaved his beard off.
You want that IPA? It's a little hoppy. Come on now. I don't know if you want that.
Sorry, sir. You wanted a cream stout? I'm sorry. It took you a second, didn't it?
Can you
Jenny,
put on that?
Jenny cream ale.
And you just have to be good at saying, hey, this isn't 7-Eleven. Go get your soda somewhere else.
Wow.
G, you want to be the there he is. You want to be the middleman, G? We'll play a game while they're still, and then we can get into the show. We can play a game first.
All right.
Ooh, I just had a vision of G being the middleman.
I'm in both chats right now. Can everybody hear everybody? Start. I guess the audiences have to tell us how this audio is sounding.
I can hear you fine, first of all.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
You guys hear us?
Yep, I can hear E Honda. He's crying already. I can hear the tears.
Mm-hmm. It's already shit talking.
I can hear the tears hitting
He's
his
kind of cutting out a bit.
keyboard.
Sorry, I am neutral in this conflict.
All right, here's the thing. I'm not quite ready for the chat battle, so I have to get my shit.
Look at this guy. This guy started a whole goddamn war, and he doesn't even have.
Start stirring.
Wait.
Shit,
Hold
and
it.
hasn't even washed his shit.
That's
Hold
very,
it. We
very
can't
bad.
invade the north. We need to go back and get our food.
Very bad planning.
Yeah, we weren't ready.
So I'm going to mute on both. That gives you guys both times to recollect. Why don't we go at the top of the hour? That'll give me a couple minutes to get ready and get you all a couple minutes to do your thing, and we'll chat battle. I'll just stay in both chats and let the audiences give us some feedback if this works.
All right, yeah, it'll be fun.
All right.
I know we've done it before. It seemed to work out pretty good the last time I think you did it.
Except they cheated.
Give the
that's
cheaters a
right.
minute.
Yeah, that can,
Yeah, give the cheaters a moment.
that can
I do remember there was some cheating.
Now, my question is, how much of a lag difference is there between gun tube chamber and the duck?
No, that's true.
Hold on. Hey, G's trying to talk. G's trying to talk.
I was just saying it might be different for the audiences, but for me, I'm just in both rooms.
Okay.
The wife is asking
Yeah.
what the fuck is a chat battle. So, E Honda is live on his channel, and I am live on my channel. G is in both chats. So they've done this before where they'll ask questions, and then we're basically two teams. It's like it's pandemonium. It's chaos.
Kind of trivia, kind of a free for all. I don't know. Yeah, just a mix of all game code.
Right, and I think every time you lose a question, you got to take your shirt off.
Oh, sweet. I did send my wife a link though, so
I don't have the camera on, but my shirt's
I'll
already
turn the
off.
camera off and
What was that? Nice
Hold
try?
on. What if we're not wearing a shirt?
Then you have to take your pants off.
Then you have
What
to
if I'm not
shave.
wearing pants?
You got to shave off the hair.
No,
You got to shave.
Fine.
Wait, hang on.
Fine.
No,
I
I'm
gotta go
not-
get my
I
shaving
got a
knife.
shower. Hang on.
Start sharpening.
Glad I don't have a camera.
I gotta sharpen this one. You guys got a stone or something?
Who's stoned?
Are you stoned?
Not according to my drug test.
who
Well,
took it for you?
Whose urine did you buy?
Yeah,
Sylvia. She remains to be unnamed. Wait, shit.
Yeah,
I think
now
you might have
you're gonna
moved
find
there.
you're gonna get it back saying, "Oh, Mr. Moo, You're
pregnant.
You're pregnant.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're going to be beset by all the little SJWs who are saying, see, a cow can get pregnant too.
That was the utter one.
Oh God, that's a bad cow joke.
Wow.
Fucking right, it
Punny.
was.
Punny, very punny.
Oh my God.
There's only like a handful of cow jokes. Come on, fuck up.
I like it work on your milk and the clock.
He's certainly milking it for all it's worth.
Yeah. Of course, you could be milking it like E Honda does.
I don't think we can say what E Honda does on this chat.
Well, he did shave his beard because he was getting uncomfortable over it.
Yeah.
Right now they're assuring each other that they're not prejudiced against homosexuals.
Who's not?
That's what they're talking about over there. Is they're talking about how they got gay friends, so they're cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Because your one gay friend does speak with one voice for all gay people because they are a hive mind.
One of us.
One of us.
There was, I think, was it? I've seen a couple of these like trivia shows and stuff that they do with guns and stuff. Is G did the one before where he went to a website, right? And it just had a whole bunch of questions and shit. I think isn't it? I think G's the one.
No. We got those questions from the tactical quiz. We came up with those questions over the years of the gun show.
Somebody did one, and I was watching it, and they found a website that literally just had firearms trivia questions.
Man, that might have been that.
Kinky says 2 Live Moves voice is turning me on. That's cool.
Kinky, what doesn't turn you on?
I like the sphincters.
You like
the better.
You like the sphincter.
I only like one sphincter at a time.
He only likes kinky sphincters.
No, I like straight sphincters.
Well, that's weird.
How you doing?
Well, by definition, isn't the sphincter supposed to be curved?
No, it's a tight ball of muscle.
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking colon.
Creeping me out, man. I think we're gonna have to ask you to leave now. It's been real.
Thanks
for coming.
Thanks for showing up.
Thanks for coming a lot, or thanks a lot for coming. Oof.
And if you're used by Blue Man.
My foot itches, so I'm currently sharpening my knife.
Like stropping it on the bottom of your foot.
I think Moody's is sending that bayonet over to
Snob.
over to Snob there, so maybe he can take the whole foot off next time.
Yeah, it's all probably diabetic anyway, so it's all right.
Mm-hmm.
But did Snob cut himself sharpening a knife or something? What did I miss?
No, he's taking off his plantar warts.
No. He during Gary's chat, he was sitting there muted because apparently he cannot stand to have a much better announcer voice in the same chat as him. He was sitting there sharpening his knife, and his foot got it razor sharp. Then his foot started to itch, so he put the knife kind of, straight up and down, not like actually trying to slice, but just scratching like that. Well, apparently he got too distracted, and it must have glanced at an angle, and he cut a chunk of skin out of his bottom of his foot, and it bled through like 2 gauze pads before it finally stopped.
What the hell, man? Jesus.
And he's been hobbled ever since.
Well,
This is why we can't have nice things.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the first time he tried standing
Truth is
on it, it
stranger
opened up again. Mm-hmm. Because you come up with that in a pitch meeting, they tell you no, that's stupid. Get out of here.
Yeah. Some things
Nobody would do
you
that.
just can't lie. You just can't make some things up, you know. Like if you came into work and you had a little bit of a limp and somebody said, "What happened?" He's like, "Oh, I was scratching my foot with a knife and I cut my foot." They'd be like, "Yeah, right. What really happened? What did you really do?"
You're full of shit.
Well,
You're
according to Mrs. Snob, it's not the first time he's done this. So clearly, he's an exceptionally stupid person.
He's down there with a wood rasp, shaving chunks off of it.
You come up with a real creative story, like a cow was aggressively hopping toward me, and I didn't have my gun with me.
So I cut my foot with my knife and bled all over it.
Mm-hmm. It's like, no, I didn't do that. It's November. It's nice and dry down here. I had my nice wool socks on, and I figured I'd just shuffle them on the carpet and walk up to the wife and try and zap her. And son of a bitch, there was a pocket knife I had left sitting there open, and I was just shuffling along, and all of a sudden, he just sliced my damn foot open.
I bet you I know what happened. He was on the internet, and they had the camera on him, and he was thinking he was hot shit, and he was pretending to be Billy from Predator. And when he cuts his chest with the machete, except he did it with his foot.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds logical.
Use my text chat to vote. What are we going through here, G?
Sucker. Now I got links out to 2 different chats. This is how I slowly water the pancake batter down until it's just crepes.
Craps.
Maybe I'll go make pancakes.
Repeat chat battles of now.
We got 1 minute.
What?
Are those guys over there drinking yet? They're getting ready?
They're drinking their Metamucil.
Grandpa's cough medicine.
Wait a second. I resemble that remark.
Robitussin and Metamucil.
And what's wrong with that combination, huh? Huh? You'll get ancient too someday.
Honda's over there giving everybody shots of NyQuil.
NyQuil and Benadryl.
Yeah. This is my favorite shit.
I love this. Put a little rock and rye into it.
There you go.
What you drinking there, Honda? Oh, it's something my mom used to make. She called it Mama's Little Helper. It's Benadryl, whiskey, and NyQuil.
Benadryl was it's Fireball and NyQuil. It tastes like shit, but after a couple of them, you just pass out and forget who you were for a couple of days.
No, it's one of those drinks where you have to drink it all in one gulp, because if you sit and sip it,
Getting ready?
you're going to fall asleep and just spill it.
It's like Christmas
Oh,
Vacation.
shit.
Eddie, when he talks about the plate in his head, he's like, "Yeah, to get rid of that metal plate." Every time Catherine used the microwave, every time Catherine
for half an hour.
I'd shit my pants and forget who I was for half an hour. Put a plastic one in there now.
Quiet down. I'm waiting for them to quiet down.
Okay.
Okay. Oops.
Geo is all severe too.
Oh,
It's not the Daily Gun Show yet, is it?
Please like, share. Ross Perez.
all right, everybody ready? We're ready to get going?
No.
So I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna go live on my channel in order to create a place where people can vote, and just so that there's a third view of this whole thing.
It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam.
Chair is against the wall.
Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall.
John has a long mustache.
Long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
All right, everybody. So everybody knows what's going on. I just opened up a room there, gave it an intro so that if anybody does watch it on my channel later, there's just some consistency to it. So what we've got going on the screen, on my channel at least is on the left. We've got Pancakes chat. Midnight Range does a chat on Sunday night, and he's got a chat room full of people using the Gun Tube Chamber. So that's an online streaming community room where he can have a bunch of people and he can invite them in. As you see, we've got the chat open there, so I'll close that so they can be private over there. And I'll close this chat as well so that you guys can use your private chats without me broadcasting on them. And he's got some people in there. I'll let everybody introduce themselves in a moment. On the right side of my screen, we have E. Honda's chat. So he also does a chat on Sundays. He's actually just kind of ending. I think you're over an hour into your chat, 2 hours into your chat. But I was in E. Honda's chat and saw that Pancakes was starting. So I challenged him to a chat battle. Honda's team was ready to chat battle. We talked the old guys into it, so now they're ready. We've got 2 chats. I'll let everybody introduce themselves. So I know that you guys have probably already done this on your own things, but this is a way to play with the internet, play with gun channels a little bit. Let's go with the old timers first. So Pancakes, introduce yourself, introduce your panel.
Oh man, I got a big group of awesomeness right here. I got all sorts of guys. Midnight Range TM here. Food and Guns Sunday night, 10:30 Eastern. I got Glimtech Arms. I got Obnoxious One, Kingpin, Mr. Fine Ape, the Super Chicken himself, Gizzard Gary, 2 Live Moo, Night Strike, and the ever vigilant Roll Call just jumped in to visit with us.
Damn it!
We are ready to go.
Now,
So wait, Night Strike was on our chat.
yeah,
Well, yeah. Well, you see where he wanted to be.
yeah, he knew the chat battle was going. It might have been a little Night Strike in my ear. That's hard.
Night Strike defected. That's what happened.
And he's on the tube where they've got an unlimited
Yeah, that's true.
unlimited size
He
team over
upgraded.
there. So
That's
now
right.
Honda, who's limited himself, only 5 because I'm on the team. I'm not really playing for you. And you're missing somebody, so you could potentially have somebody join you. But Honda, introduce yourself, introduce your team.
Well, how's it going, everybody? E Honda 720 here with the Game Frog Chat. We got on the team with me tonight on an unknown challenge. We have Mr. Homophobe Joe, the ringer. We've got Ranger, the new guy. We got My Little Dead Pony, the bullet monger, we'll call him. And then since you're not on the team, I don't introduce you. I guess you guys. But yeah, thanks for being in.
Right on. So we'll have some fun. We've done this before, and it gets a little crazy. But because of the new tech, thanks to Mike, who built GunTube, we've got the chamber over there, and it gives a way you guys can raise your hands. It lets as many people in as you want. I could go over here and choose the Brady Bunch view, and now you can see everybody on my screen, at least over on my channel. Then you've got the duck over here, which has its own advantages, I guess. Because I can be in 2 ducks at the same time, I'm broadcasting on the duck, and we've got a lot of people in here. So we're going to kind of do a couple of different things here based off of other game shows we've done in the past. And thanks again for everybody joining us and being patient with playing around with the internet here. So if anybody wants to dig in at all before we get going, anybody want to say anything, plug anything? You guys had your team captains introduce you, but if anybody wants to take a second, go ahead.
You should balance the teams and feel Night Strike back.
You want Night of all the people you could steal from the Pancake side, do you want Night Strike back?
We already have it.
Hey, I'll trade you.
We don't need them. All good.
I'll trade you a Night Strike and a Roll Call for a Homophobe Joe.
Now, midnight.
I don't know what they said, but they're laughing, and I don't like it.
Are we going by your? What are you going by for 2 people for Homophobe Joe? I mean, are you making some sort of fat joke here or what?
No, he knows a lot of dumb shit.
No, because he's the ringer, and pretty much on this panel of 2 teams, I'm guessing P226 Nut is going to be the ringer on any kind of trivia, let alone gun trivia.
Everybody else.
What he's saying is he'd rather have Rance and Rays be on the Gay Frog chat than on his chat, is what he's saying.
That dude just.
So now they have a lot of people. They got 9 people over there. You guys have 4.
I'm not worried.
So how about technically? Is everything? Can everybody hear? Oh, I'm over talking. Can everybody hear everybody okay? The audience, the various audiences. You guys are watching your own text chats. You can consider your own text chats your team. So if you want to get answers or hints from your own text chats, go for it. I'm not watching those. I am watching the text chat on the gun websites one, just so that we can use that for any kind of voting or tie breaking. And again, I'm asking you guys and the chat out there if they can hear okay, if all the technical stuff's working for us.
You're fine. Seems to be good over here.
The
Yeah,
volume.
I mean, it's a little. I can hear him. It's a little muffled, but we can hear him. Yep.
The volume on the gun website's feed, they can't hear that. Like I can't hear anything over there.
Okay, and that might just be because I don't even know how this is even working.
Oh snap! We got a pickle.
Okay, you got even more. There's an unlimited team size on Chamber because Chamber is better tech. You guys are using old duck tech. Wizard doesn't even use duck tech anymore.
You know, Gun Chamber eats duck for breakfast.
That's fancy. What are you doing with our gun tube money? He's eating duck over there. What kind of smoked duck with capers and whatnot?
Nice little raspberry glaze on it.
You're thinking too ritzy. I'm eating hunted duck.
Caper.
Next thing you know, he'll be using like basil and sage and stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to get
an old bay.
Oh, they're trying to get another team player over there.
Now you're talking, Gary.
They're going to go to maximum duck capacity and bring another player in. That's fine. You guys can introduce your new players as they join.
See, we already won. That's okay.
Just to start things off, everybody's got webcams, everybody's got speakers, and everybody's got text chat and an internet. How about the first person to produce a rifle on the screen? We'll get 5 points.
What? How about like this?
Pretty much E-Honda. That was pretty close to E-Honda. Whoever is on the top right over here, 2 Live Moo, we can't see it. It looks like a dark.
With the bayonet.
You can't see anything though. It's a dark
Can't
smudge.
beat that shit. I have that ready.
God damn it.
You need to have some light on in your room.
Turn a damn light on, Moo. What the hell is going on in your house right now?
And I'm also
I don't know.
There's one on this bench.
I'm going to ask somebody to volunteer on my text chat who's not in the rooms to play scorekeeper to help me out because I'm doing kind of well.
I'm gonna get a light on.
There's absolutely no sound coming from your.
So far we got. I'm gonna name the 2 teams Pancakes and Frogs, so that when you guys want to call out for an answer, just say Pancakes or Frogs, and I think that'll work better than what we were trying to do last time. We're saying no sound on my chat at all. Oh, you know why? I think I know why. Let me remove from stream, add to stream with the audio. How do I add to stream with audio? Or maybe I need
I'm
to.
sending the link right now.
I'll bet you that'll do it. I think now you guys can hear me on the gun website side. Does that work? I think I just fixed it.
I'll bet you that'll do it. I think now you guys can hear me on the website side. Does that work?
Yeah, there we go. All right. So now
so
I'm going
did I
to
win?
volunteer on my chat over there to be the scorekeeper now that you can hear me. All right. So without stalling it too much longer, which was first, the volcanic or the Gatling gun? Just call out your team.
Volcanic.
Okay, so now, number 1, you're an idiot if you're calling out the answer because you just told it to the other team. Number 2, yeah, I know you did, but everybody else just yelled out volcanic.
Well, you asked the question.
So here's the thing. So yell out the name of your team, and that's how you find, that's how you ring your buzzer, basically. But it was nut. It was Frog Chat. And I'm guessing
you're now. We got 5 for the rifle, and how many for that?
We're calling these 10 points. 10 points.
We got you guys by 15.
Okay, so what is an XP 100?
Pancakes. It is a Remington.
We got Pancakes.
It's a Remington.
Go ahead.
Wait, do we have to
It
call
is
up
a Remington bolt-action pistol.
For
killing people.
Nope.
No, it is for...
In my chat, you're going to get negative points for that kind of shit. I don't think that's... So what is it for?
killing women.
For either handgun hunting or metallic silhouette shooting.
Well, that's what all bolt action pistols are for. What's the XP 100? I'll give it to a bolt action pistol, but I guess it's a specific cartridge. So yeah, that's
21 Fireball.
Yeah, so that's what I was looking for. So that's 10 points for the Midnight side there. Do I got a what do you call it? Somebody listening to my chat that'll be a scorekeeper, or maybe the chat itself can be the scorekeeper.
Well, I know we got 15 and they got 10.
Yeah, right now it's Team Frog to 10. Oops, I meant 10.
I just mentally keeping track.
Well, it's going to get crazy. Now it's going to get crazy. Who invented the 44 Magnum?
Pancakes.
Too late.
Pancakes. I heard pancakes.
Elmer Keith.
Elmer Keith is correct. 10
Yes.
points for pancakes. 10 points for pancakes.
You know it.
Must be 20 points for the quick response.
All right, I guess keep track since somebody's doing it.
42.
6.
The Spencer repeating rifle was produced until what year?
Frog.
Okay,
What?
Frog.
1869.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good Googling. That's some pretty fast Googling there. That's fast internet. That's 10 to the. Am I getting somebody to help over there? That's 10 to the frog, so that's 25 frog.
Yeah, I got it.
Shut up, people. What's up, New York? Hey. Yeah, we got a full frog. All right.
You got a full frog. It's a weird statement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're getting work in both chats.
What part did Carbine
to-
Williams invent in jail? What did Carbine Williams invent
Sorry,
in jail?
I know this thing. Frogs.
Okay, who's just yelling out the answer? And it's frogs, though. So frog.
Ranger, go ahead. Ranger, go. It is the short stroke gas pistol.
Yes. So frogs. Another 10 points for frogs over there.
What was the answer?
That's 35 for frogs.
What was it?
Yeah. What was the answer?
It was the short stroke gas piston. So Carbine Williams created a bunch of stuff while he was in jail for shooting who? Who did he shoot?
Wait, say that again?
Who did Carbine Williams shoot? Why was he in jail?
Jimmy Hoffa.
Okay.
You have to say the name of the team
Pancakes.
first.
Yelling out wrong answers.
Pancakes.
It is.
Pancakes? Got pancakes?
It was Alfred Jackson, the deputy.
I can barely hear you. Who and why? What?
Alfred Jackson.
And he was.
The
He said
deputy. God damn it.
Can you guys hear him? Can the frog side hear him?
I think you're
Yeah, we heard him.
frogs. Did they get it wrong?
No, I didn't get it wrong. I got the Firearms Inventors playing card deck right here in front of me.
Nice.
Boom.
Yeah. That's a
10
bonus.
points.
Bonus.
Ding, ding, ding. 15 points for pancake side because he's using a good resource.
That's right.
That's 35 points for cakes now. So now it's tied up, 35 to 35.
Look at Midnight. He's like keeping score.
So why don't we say the first person to bring a black powder rifle onto the screen? Black powder.
God
rifle,
damn it! I gotta run all the way over there.
Rifle onto the screen.
Got it.
Hang on.
Right fucking here.
I don't like powder rifle.
You didn't win. Boom! What do we see on the pancake side there?
Right here. Thompson Center, Black Diamond, muzzle loader.
Yeah, we got a revolver. I said rifle, and what is it? Center. Center's a rifle, not the.
Tony's got a rifle.
No.
We got it on the cake side, so that would be a 10 points. I don't know how those are less points than just a trivia question. But
Behind all my other shit.
this is for 10 points. The Colt Peace. Which came first, the Colt Peacemaker or the Winchester Yellow Boy?
Frogs.
Okay, frogs.
Pancakes?
The Winchester Yellow Boy came first.
By how many years?
The Winchester Yellow Boy was in 1866, and the Colt Yankee was in 1873. So that's 7 years.
Look at that. Even by double checking, he's got all that Google knowledge right there. Boom, 10 points.
That's bonus points.
45. That ties it back up.
That's bonus points, don't you think, G?
No. That's why that's an extra test. Make sure you ain't Googling. I'm just making sure that this guy has to have
he needs more
behind his
extra
back.
points for that.
He's only got 10 people going against him. That's barely even yet.
I am not.
That's true.
I feel like there's an anti-frog bias going on.
There's not the anti-frog. You've got P226 Nut, and he's only got 10 people going against him. I don't think this is even tied up yet. Where was Garand born? Where was Garand born?
Cakes.
I heard
pancakes.
I don't know. What did I hear first? The chat.
Pancakes.
This answer is going to be decided by my chat over there.
You know it for sure.
Canada.
Was it frog or pancakes? I'm waiting for an answer over on my chat over there. There's only 12 people watching mine, so there's only 12 judges really, and I'm one of them. Okay, it was pancakes. So, hey, that's what it says. What am I supposed to say?
Canada.
Yep, Canada.
Canada is correct. So that was 10 points? Yes. And that would be 10 points to Frogs, which makes it 55-45. They took the lead with that one.
What?
Why did Frogs get it when Pancake got the answer right?
Anyway.
Sorry, I'm saying it in typing because I don't have an assistant.
Where's our secretary?
Got some shenanigans going on. We got some shenanigans going on.
Shenanigans.
Which first, the Colt revolving rifle or the Henry lever action?
Frog.
Pancakes.
Do you guys know how to say pancakes fast? You should get ready to say it real quick. Frogs, what was the answer to this one? Which came first, the Colt revolving rifle or the Henry lever action rifle?
The Colt revolving rifle.
By how many years?
I'm not sure on this, but it's probably like 1 or 2.
Oh, now at least you can feel a little better because he doesn't know what the span is between them. But you all should feel like punks because he just knows the shit on top of his head. So yeah,
like you get it right, but then you go, how many years?
Yeah, because it's rolling. So if you don't want me to ask that kind of stuff, then
no, I do.
Don't be rolling.
What's your favorite caliber?
What?
Pancakes.
Frog. That was fast.
Frog.
What is it?
Wait.
All right, there you go. 10 points to the Frogs.
God damn it.
And we picked the real
Bias.
There was really no wrong answer since it was what is your favorite handgun caliber? What does CMP stand for?
Civilian Readiness Program.
Pancakes.
You know what? I'm going to refresh my chamber side because even though it's superior tech, the sound is shit on it. So I'm going to go back and refresh here.
Pancake.
I know we got that one.
Pancakes.
He's intentionally trying to get it to them.
Pancakes.
Waffle. Pancakes.
Pancakes.
Okay, see now I can hear them better. So what does CMP stand for on the pancake side?
Pancakes.
Civilian Marksmanship Program.
Yes.
All right, finally 10 points over there. So now we got back
Tied
to
up.
time.
Fast.
Sons of bitches.
cheaters, man. Those are cheaters.
The revolver was created by Samuel Colt when he was how old?
Pancake.
I heard pancakes first.
19.
Wrong.
Oh.
Who wants to answer that one?
I want bonus.
Frog?
Yeah, Frog.
Yeah.
21.
Wrong. Oh man, you guys both suck. Kingpin?
You guys both suck.
Kingpin knows.
He was young.
He's furiously shuffling through his cards.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say.
On his card right now.
Somebody has to.
Hey, Kingpin, what's Trump?
I'll leave that one for a future one. Then.
No, keep going. I'm curious.
You all are going to know this one on the top of your head, right? So it's going to really be a matter of how fast you can push the button. According to Lee Precision, for 9mm, what's the max overall length in inches?
Pancake.
I did hear frogs first.
No, pancake.
Pancakes. I heard pancakes first.
I heard pancakes first.
I heard Roro talking before you even finished the question.
That was true, but then he said frog before, enunciated frog well before you guys said pancake. But
Roro said frog?
Mm-hmm.
Good horse. You're a caliber, dude.
Was he 15?
You're the caliber, dude. Good.
How long are we waiting here?
Yeah, really. I mean, are we just shouting out?
Oh, okay, no, now it's going to pancakes. Now
We're
it's
just
going to
shouting
pancakes.
out. We're just shouting out our team name and then Googling it. That's fine.
A failure. That was some sort of a volleyball thing where he got it all set up and ready for Dead Horse, who was texting, and it just fell on the ground. So pancakes.
Overall length
1.169 inches.
1.169 is the answer. I don't know why the sound keeps dropping off, but yeah, that's 10 for the cakes. 75.
Aren't there any negative points for calling out your team name?
Why don't we say the first to bring on the stage multiple screens with holsters? More than one screen going with a holster.
More than one screen going with a holster?
I see one holster so far. 2 holsters.
What?
3 holsters. I got them. We got them on pancake side.
I just lost everything out of my stage.
They're all over the place on pancake side. That's where they're going to get you, because you guys only have 5 people, really. So we're giving that to Cake. That's 85.
Obnoxious just dumped
that might be a
everything
knife.
I almost unplugged my freaking headphones trying to reach for that. I was like, I know there's a holster within reach, but I don't know where it is.
There's a bayonet holster.
Go till the end of the half an hour mark here, so it doesn't take up everybody's whole lives here. So, in the movie Mad Max Fury Road, when Furiosa smashes the skull of the Warwig's trailer, what gun is revealed?
Frogs.
I heard frogs. Oh, nice. Oh, very good. So that's a.
Wait, what was it?
It was a Gen 1 Glock 17. So that takes the frogs up to 75. You're close to seeing where Cakes used to be.
God damn it. Really up like 10.
Yeah, well, 10 precious points that you don't have. The Sturmgewehr 44, better known as the MP44. What chamber was that chambered in? What cartridge was that chambered in?
Pancakes.
Frogs. I heard frogs.
Ink pen.
What?
It's 8mm curve or
bullshit.
Oh, that's totally wrong. Cakes?
No.
Cakes.
Kegs.
8.
Yeah.
8. Go ahead.
8.
Pence.
Are they saying an answer over there? Or are they just all looking at you?
It's 7.92 by 33mm curves.
Nope, 79233. That's what Night Strike just said. So that goes to Cakes.
Cakes!
Well, that ain't what I got written over here, and I don't know any other weird Nazi shit, so I know what's on my. So, who is considered the father of modern handgun fighting, modern technique?
Cakes.
Cakes. I heard Cakes first.
John Cooper.
John Cooper is not correct. Frog.
Jeff Cooper.
Jeff Cooper is correct. I don't know who John Cooper is. Maybe
God
his
damn it.
brother.
I'm going to send you anthrax in the mail.
So they're going to have to do it their own.
His buddies used to call him John.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's his real name.
I'm going to have to refresh the chamber over here because I'm hearing dim hearing over here.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah, he's doing that on purpose.
It's so competitive. What?
We got 4 more minutes. I don't know how many more questions we can get back into. In Raiders of the Lost Ark, what make and model did Dr. Jones use to save his life from the swordsman? in the general trading market scene.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Pancake.
I heard frogs first, and I just refreshed the screen. Frog?
That was a top break.
Frog is wrong. Cakes?
Who knows it?
He didn't even have a 1911 in the whole movie, so you know that's right.
It was a top
pancakes.
It was a top
Yeah,
break.
you guys
1917.
What? No.
No.
19.
No.
We're leaving that one. We're leaving that one. No, if you guys both get it wrong, we're leaving it for a future show or for somebody else to use.
It's either Farm on
You guys don't. Here's what it ain't. Whatever you guys said, you're both
No,
wrong.
It's not a 1917 chambered in 45 ACP.
exactly what it is.
Wait, what did you say it was?
A 1917, a Smith & Wesson 1917 chambered in 45.
Correct.
Mad
Not
clouds
that.
there,
It is
weren't
not that, according to my spreadsheet right here.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
What are you, gizzard? You got a
Maybe
spreadsheet?
Maybe your spreadsheet's full of shit.
Oh, I see how it is.
Spreadsheets live.
Who has how many points now? I don't know. I don't have an eraser, but I got a chalkboard.
I don't know. I was gonna say a Smith & Wesson Mark II.
What is hardball a slang term for?
Pancakes.
Pancakes.
Pancake.
Okay. Now,
Oh.
go ahead, Abe.
Full Metal Jacket ball ammunition.
Target ammo.
Yeah, all right. I'm down with that. There's probably a little bit more qualifying to that, but that's pretty damn close. So that's 10 points. What?
Like, there's something about the bullet. I would think that there is something about hardball versus just ball ammo, right?
Okay. No, that's all right. You guys can challenge. What's your answer?
That's wrong.
What?
It's a copper jacketed bullet.
Well, what did fucking P just say?
I'm Ape, not P.
I said, what did you just say? What did you just say?
Said Full Metal Jacket.
He said
Ball
Full
ammo.
Metal Jacket ammo. What are you guys saying?
He said ball ammo.
They're saying hardball Full Metal Jacket. Come on, it's
He said Full Metal Jacket ball ammo, and you guys said copper jacketed ammo.
Hear that on our side.
Oh, okay.
Technically, the dictionary term is hardball, a slang term used for Full Metal Jacket bullet pistol ammunition, particularly in 45 ACP caliber.
So now that they're losing, our audio sucks. Notice how that happened.
surprise.
Great show on MSNBC.
All right.
The first one to bring something from the Civil War onto the screen. Something from the Civil War. But is anybody going to take his reproduction there from the Civil War?
It was used
The reproduction was used in the Civil War? I'm going to
reproduction of something that was used in the Civil War.
let's see if anything else comes up on the screen from the Civil War. Otherwise, you're going to let it go.
Something like that.
Reproduction of something used in the Civil War.
Toilet paper.
My ass.
It would have been creative.
I'll tell you what, if you're going to use toilet paper, I want a carbon tested. I want a carbon a day tested.
Gizzard carrot.
They did use chickens. They did use chickens.
They use chickens.
Do they use voice nuggets?
They use maybe one of these.
All right, we're going to go with this reproduction because we couldn't get anything more authentic than a reproduction.
Yeah, that was reaching.
I don't think you can't count that either. It's a yes or a no. Reproduction doesn't count.
It was kind of used. I mean, a flint or percussion caps were used during the war. What is?
The only thing I got related
yet.
to the Civil War in my house is my great grandfather's funeral flag. That's all I
Well,
got.
number one, your team captain isn't making you the top screen. So number one, all I see is a tiny postage stamp of a black blur that's squiggly at the bottom. So nobody can tell what the fuck that is.
Squiggly.
Squiggly down.
Nobody can still tell what that is. Make him full screen, and we still wouldn't be able to tell. Oh snap! Look at, they're being creative on the Midnight side, and they made it full screen, and they brought up a bunch of stuff that was used during the Civil War. Now I don't know what to do. I'm going to give it to my audience's side.
Gotta give it to Pancake
on this one. Yeah, there's a delay, but it's pretty bad. Who's getting this one? The frog side with their blurry squiggle and their reproduction revolver, or Pancake side with a Google shot of a bunch of stuff from the Civil War.
Pancake
side. You don't even have anything tangible. Fuck those guys.
You know that of the four.
It's a picture.
You know that.
Well, neither do you.
0.1 seconds.
You did. No, you did. But you were challenged, and you got to take a challenge at its face value. Now, you do know that of the 14 people in my chat, 10 of them are on Pancake's panel. So I'm wondering how this voting is going to happen.
Well, it's Midnight Night. I live in Maryland. Midnight lives in Pennsylvania. Our front yard is
no here. You can't be deleting people's posts. Can't be doing that.
I'm originally from Pennsylvania, so
and moves mod stats. So those now count as 5 for frog each.
Yeah, this is cheating.
That's cheating. They're not cheating. They're using the rules.
They brought
just because you choose.
Civil War.
Yeah, you brought up a reproduction revolver that's percussion. How many percussion rifles were used in the Civil War? Were they using percussion caps in the Civil War?
Not so much.
No.
I think so.
I don't know. I mean, I know that we use them all the time.
Hey, I need a 2 minute. I need a 2 minute pause. I need a 2 minute pause. I'll be right back.
Time out.
Time out for 2 minutes.
Oh no, we're
done. Pancake got a link. Done.
What's the score? What did the cheaters win by?
Yeah, we're ending because we wanted to end it at 9:30. It just went long because of this whole hassle with the Civil War. This is the second Civil War happening right now.
It's a boogaloo.
All right, so we clearly avoided electric big poo. So let's see, we've got 105 for the cakes with 10 people. So that's like an average of 10 points per. And then we got 85 on the frog side. So you could say they mopped the floor with you.
All right. Nice. Back to back.
They mopped the floor with y'all. 2 to 1.
Yeah, but look at our kill death ratio.
So I'd like to thank everybody who's watching. I'll end it on my side and thank everybody who's on both panels for being patient and the audiences for playing along. We like to play with the internet, have some fun. Anybody want to? Well, let's go with the losers first. Loser, say anything as we leave. Plug. You can keep your show, of course, going and go check out eHonda, the loser side. Chat is still going on over on the eHonda channel. Anything you guys want to say on your way out?
That was a great lead-in. Thanks. Yeah, cheaters. That's what I gotta say. This is fascism at work right here. If you guys want to know why you want to keep your gun rights, it's because there's fascist people like G-Webs who run chats and eventually become president who want to take your rights away from you potentially and do things that you might not like. So you might want to keep those rights. That's what I have to say. America.
All right, well, thanks for being so gracious. And then we've got the champions. Who won the last? Who was in the last chat battle?
I think we won the last.
I know who it wasn't.
They lost the last one too.
They didn't show up for the chat battle. I don't see Sarge in here. So who was it last time? It was Midnight's chat versus.
Yep.
Or was it these two? It was these two chats.
It was basically,
wasn't it?
Yeah, it totally was, and we won the last one.
Oh,
they did.
Now it's tied.
So now
We have avenged ourselves.
So what does it feel like?
Let's do this.
The pancake side, what's it feel? Let me refresh. Says I can't hear you, so I'm going to refresh. Let you guys get your shit together, and then we'll ask you guys what it's like to be the winner.
The issue is he has a connection problem.
I'm going to make a small prediction. Next week's Gay Frog chat will be the conspiracy of why they keep losing chat battles.
There we go. Okay, so if you guys want to say any parting words here about your championship.
Boy, I thought I was a sore loser, but holy shit.
Right.
So I think we should make this like a once a once every once in a while thing. We should make this like a standing thing.
Pancakes.
Frog. One now, so we can do it one more time to
Pancakes.
determine.
Pancakes.
Pancakes.
Frog.
Let me.
Pancakes.
I am interested in anybody's ideas or suggestions for ideas on how to make this work better. I mean, we're just figured out that we can do it, and
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the idea. I'm definitely down.
Once a
I
month.
think
once
you
every
should
other
punish
week.
them if they holler out their name and then Google it. If they holler out their name and then Google the answer, I think you should punish them.
Well,
and if they holler out their name, Google the answer, and still get it wrong, they should go down to 0.
I like something with consequences, and we definitely got to figure out some better tech, I think. And I'll keep working on my end to try to get maybe another computer. I think I thought about that last time too, right?
Well, I think what you could do, you could always do like, I think if you get one wrong, if you get it wrong, maybe you lose 5 points. If you get it right, you win 10 points or something.
You gain 5 points, but you lose 10, and then that way there's consequences for wrong.
Yeah, because just to get it, because right now, if you're there's no reason for you not to just right away just say your name, and try and be the first one and then guess. Even if you don't know, you can guess, but that'll make people a little more think about it a little bit more. Like, do I really know this?
Oh, I like that, because that's the thing about Roland over here saying frog and then having no idea what the answer is, because sometimes he knows
it. Then they gotta quick Google it.
Yeah, there's no consequences, and then you can Google it.
Before the chat that not NY, who was it? Dead Doors knew everything about reloading and cartridges and all that shit, and you're supposed to call out if any question like that came up. That's what I do. At least I thought that's what we established.
No, that's fine. That's fine. We're just saying going forward, we're thinking about ways to adjust it so that it just gets easier to hear.
That's okay.
Either that or put like a very strict 5-second limit on the time from when they call out before you finish. If they call out before you finish the question, they have, 5 seconds.
Yeah, even 10. I mean,
wait. Bar trivia before, where you have the sooner you plug in your final answer, the more points you get, right? And then if you change it on a sliding scale as time goes on, you get less and less points for the answer.
Yeah, but I don't know how to
Look,
I can
that's
do all
pretty
that.
complicated.
Honda, it's not like we all can go to a certain place that sells free wings and steal all the iPads.
I'll make sure I bring my side rule next time.
We can't cater to the losers.
Here you go. Listen, if you jump into the question, if you say your name really quick and you don't know it, I mean, obviously that has given the other team time to Google it too. So that's kind of the bonus for not being too early to jump in. And if you get it wrong, you lose like 5 points. And after you're called on, maybe you get like 10 seconds or something. You need to be able to converse with your team. You need a little bit of time, but not enough time to be able to Google it for a minute. You know what I mean? Like maybe 10, 15 seconds you get or something.
We should try having a spokesman. Like when we say pancakes, then you can say just like the Family Feud. You can look around and Moo can say it's 1911, and I could say no, it's a Glock.
Right.
And then you could say, okay, team, what are we going with, 1911 or Glock? And only you can answer.
Right.
That's it.
I
think it should be a rule, but that could be like a team strategy to make it more efficient for the team or something.
I think we should send the frog people a participation trophy.
There you go. There you go, Midnight.
Does the frog chat feel better now? You guys feel better that you're included?
Midnight has a trophy for him. Show him the wound up some of a bitch trophy.
Everyone gets a trophy, right?
Yeah. You're as good as your mother said, and now go change your pants. What?
Get over here, Honda. Punch Honda right in the face. Pow, pow, pow.
Yeah, that should be a thing, man. I think I won. All right, we'll get you guys next time. We'll be ready for you. We're sitting here. We're getting ready. We know what we're doing, and we're going to take you down, and you're just going to have to deal with it. So, honestly,
Honda's just pulling a Dr. Claw. Next time,
you're all winners in my eyes.
It's already been going for almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
We started this thing.
So no, they were literally at the 2-hour mark. So I'm going to end it on my end. I want to thank everyone again for playing along and having fun on Honda's Frog Chats on Sundays, on Midnight Range TM's Sunday night chats, and over on Gun Channels. Community for conversations and stuff like this.
Awesome.
Right on.
Thanks, G-Web.
Thanks, guys.
That's awesome.
We're gonna go ahead and just sign off here, man. We've been going for long enough, and I gotta talk to some people in the chat here and get the kids going on bed stuff. So we're gonna go ahead.
Man, he's just gonna yell at everybody. He's
losers be losing.
He's lining up to yell at those guys.
I can see that. You stupid mother. He's black.
Sons of bitches, motherfucker.
Sons of bitches, pumpuses.
Goddamn bunch of losers. Jesus, get out of my face. Get out of my face before I kick your ass.
So when we win?
We're still live. If I'd have lost, I'd have just cut it off. You tell me if that's good or bad. I don't know.
Well,
Maybe
see, there you go. Better. Now you blew it.
Wow.
Here was your perfect opportunity to cut out of here early tonight, but no.
Yeah.
Look at they all left.
Thanks a lot, Ape. Getting stuff right.
No shit.
Jerk.
What's up? What's wrong with you?
Oh, look at that.
Kiss
Joel
my
K's
fat,
out.
hairy, shit-stained ass.
Joel K's in my chat, in my show, telling me next time he's going to help the frog chat. What a bunch of horse shit that is.
Wait, where's that?
Ban his ass.
That'd be frog shit.
Oh,
this guy out there.
Ban.
That's dirty.
Ban.
That's dirty.
Son of a bitch! I tells you one mother.
I don't have a wrench, or I ban him.
Mia was asking who won.
We won.
Mia,
the viewer.
No,
the viewers won.
What the hell?
Come on, you know.
Well, she was
good-looking old farts won.
Yeah.
Who you calling old?
Okay. That's right.
That's right, Mia. Your hubby finally won something.
The long beard one, man.
He gets the winner's trophy instead of participation one this time.
We need to have G need to do a couple of patches. Whoever wins, he gets a patch every time.
Then make it like one of those college cups where whoever wins it or whoever loses it, you have to mail it to the winner.
Oh yeah, that would be perfect. That would be
for sure.
Shit. Oh shit! I brought everybody back in. Ape. Why don't you say that question again? Everybody's in here again.
Say what's my idea? Okay.
Yeah.
Midnight was saying that G needed to make some sort of patch to send out to the winners, and I thought, well, how about G makes a patch, like maybe like a larger patch or like that, and if whoever loses a chat battle has to mail that patch to the winner. And then kind of like those college bowl trophies or whatever the hell they're called.
Yeah,
you have to mail the patch with a letter that says how you suck and how bad you won. Suck. Yeah,
and how totally awesome the other team was, and how great they were, and such upstanding individials, and
the pants says hashtag 9mm lost WW2.
Yeah. you just strive to be just as good, just remotely as good as we are.
Midnight's a poor loser.
Oh my god, I hate to lose. And the loser has to get a tag of the winner's name. There you go. You got to put it on. You got to put it on Instagram and tag everybody and tell everybody you're the loser.
Tattoo on your lower back.
Tramp stamp.
Off in the tattoo shop you go.
I already have a Midnight Range tattoo on my lower back.
It says, does it say, it said loser, but then he put a C in front of it for the show. Now it says closer.
First it said opener.
Wow. There you go.
Wait a minute. You talking about the one that's just below your waistline, or are you talking about the one that says opener and the one that on your left cheek and the one that says closer on the right cheek?
Well, the right cheek says pay here.
The other one says, please do not swipe ATM card.
No, it says debit cards accepted.
Oh, boy.
Debit. All right.
This is going off the rails a little bit.
Yep, this is it's a typical downhill.
Hey, it's Midnight Range TM, and then we have the chat battle, so it's gonna be crazy.
A good time, man. So get a drink, take a sip, and then we'll get back on the road here.
Dude, there's poison in that cup.
Oh, again? Shit.
There's a big poison mark right on the side of it.
No, it's this
poison.
Oh!
Where's the nun to go along with
it? It's not a poison cup, it's a pirate cup.
Yeah.
Where's Midnight's grog?
That's my Grim 90 mug. That's my Grim 90 mug. Yep. Joel saying the chat battle is great, but it's hard to hear the different chats from G-Web's stream, and the sound is delayed. Yeah, it's going to be a little tough. You know, it's not going to be perfect. I mean, maybe we can. Well, if he wasn't using.
Yeah, they were all saying that it should just be in the chamber, 5-on-5 chamber.
Yeah. Well, holy shit! Yeah, why not? I was going to say too. You can hold so many people in the chamber. You could do it on one stream.
Good. Yeah. Flip a coin between you and Honda. 1 week you host the show, the next, or he hosts the show, and then whoever wins hosts the show the next week.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, we could do something like that.
And that could be part of the punishment too. So if you don't win, you don't get to host your show next week.
So you don't get the views. You don't get the.
Yeah, you'd have to go. You'd have to go over on Honda's channel to have the chat battle.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's giving you some incentive for sure.
Especially if it gets a big audience following it.
Yeah, we could have
anytime you take a challenge, you're risking losing that whole audience of people that follow the show.
Yeah, we could have upwards of 10 people watching. This could be huge.
We could have tens of people watching, even
tens of people watching. I will say Honda's been doing really good because Yankee's been plugging him. Wink, wink.
Nod, nod. Say no more. Say no more. Make it quicker. Include. Yeah.
Poor Honda.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What?
All right.
Okay.
So let's move it on. Move on to the heading. All right. Upwards of the tens of people. That's right.
Well, there's 28 people.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's in the tens.
Were you guys down at the range today for our shoot that you hear all this mooing? We had a whole shitload of them down here today. They're all in heat.
I was there.
Says I will subscribe to the winner and unsubscribe to the loser every week. Well, then that's high stakes right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so obviously the hugest of huge news the last day was this nonsense that happened in New York, right? With Whiskey Warrior 556, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got his tag there for a second.
Yeah.
AKA, what's his name? Alex. Not Alex Books. Alex. Shit. What was his name?
Trebek?
Yeah, Alex Trebek. Yeah.
AKA the drunken trouble maker.
Trebek. Jesus Christ.
So it.
Moo, have you been dipping into Roro's edibles?
Got into Rocall's PBR.
No, I was laughing at Gary
Apparently.
snorting.
No.
Jesus Christ.
No. The other Roro.
Yeah.
Oh. The gay Roro?
Yeah.
Well, why do you
this
have to call him
guy,
gay? Do you got a problem with the gay? He can't just be Roro?
No, he's way funnier if he's gay Roro.
All right. Let's get into this.
All right. I'll behave.
Continue.
Fine.
So I looked at quite a few articles, tried to sort of piece some stuff together. It seems not everything's come out yet, obviously. Some of the stuff is not being released, I guess, some of the information, and there's a lot of there are a couple of discrepancies. But it did happen in Putnam County, New York, just north of New York City, I suppose. And the biggest thing, there was a lot of misconceptions with when it started. This dude obviously went live on Instagram, and it got picked up really quick by a lot of people. His Instagram followers went from like 4,000 to like 140,000 in a matter of a couple hours. A lot of people pushing it on their channels and doing posts about it without really knowing 100% what was going on. As far as I'm concerned, I heard about it last night. Didn't really make any comments about it other than trying to find out what happened. And kind of glad I did, because it seems like it's not what it appeared to be in the beginning. So basically, Alex Booth is his name. I did write his name down. So what I did was I looked at a couple articles and sort of wrote down and filled in some of the blanks from each other, because there was a couple things that were in all of them. But it seems like the cops were called to his house because of a domestic incident. They don't really know what that incident is. He is married, or his girlfriend, I think it's married, does have a kid. He is a vet, 28 years old, did a couple tours in Afghanistan, I believe. So something happened at home. Cops show up. In the meantime, from what I gather, a friend did tell the cops that they thought he had some mags and has some lasting effects from his service and PTSD. The mag thing is one of the discrepancies. The cops did release a statement and say that no firearms or magazines were taken or were found. So I'm not 100% sure if the friend did say that or not, but it looks like even if the friend did say that, maybe it wasn't true. But so the cops showed up. When the cops showed up, one of the cop there that showed up at the house for the domestic said he heard what he thought was a firearm discharge. He called for backup, and then it just really went downhill from there. Booth left his house and went into like an apartment above his garage or something, I think it was, and started going live on Instagram. He did have a plate carrier on, and he started sort of a narrative on his own behalf about the cops were there because of a red flag order. And that's what he was putting out. So it did just kind of snowball from there. When the cops showed up, and then backup showed up, and then SWAT team showed up, or whatever you want to call them, whatever they call it, emergency response team showed up, and then an APC showed up. They brought an armored personnel carrier in. It just kind of turned into like this huge ordeal. And then one of the articles, the quote that one of the articles said was, or what one of the articles said, I quote, "Firearm celebrities started sharing his address and asking people to come and show support." The police has said social media prolonged the event, and 911 lines were tied up for hours. Calling, people were just dialing 911 to find out what's going on and ask about him and give their opinion. And the cops really had had a huge issue with that because they, quote, were unable to communicate with our community, which is a huge deal. And that's really kind of scary. And you think about, what can happen if people aren't able to call the cops and dial 911, get help if they need it. Somebody's has a heart attack or could be anything. You dial 911 and you can't get through. That's pretty bad. So like I said, the Ammo Land article that I said, that stated the cops, no guns or mags were, ever involved. The cops said no guns or mags were ever involved with the event. So whether that means that they didn't find any or, what exactly that means, I'm not 100% sure. But also the police said that he's not being charged with anything due to the standoff. He eventually came out and they took him into custody and they took him downtown or whatever. But they're even saying that they're not, at this time, they're not pressing charges for the standoff. Now, whether they will or they won't, I don't know. Who knows? Obviously, this is still pretty new. So there's some of the big issues, and this is a really sticky area for the gun community, right? Because if you were keeping track of it on Instagram at all, you saw some people saying some pretty inflammatory things. There's definitely a lot of people that were, throwing fuel in the fire and really using this as an opportunity to. Sorry, it's got a notification. As an opportunity to really maybe push the envelope a little bit. And I know Mr. Guns and Gear was one that's catching some heat. I know you guys were talking about it before the chat a little bit. And what I want to do is talk about a few of the things. What we'll do is we'll talk about the event as a whole. If you guys have any comments, you want to chime in, I just wanted to go over it kind of from my side. If you guys have anything to add or anything I missed or anything that I have wrong, let me know. And then there's a couple of different things I want to talk about with the event as a whole. So, what do you guys know about it? Is there anything you want to add to what happened?
Well, let us not forget the most important thing out of this whole deal. He was intoxicated. Period, bottom line, end of story. So right there, everything goes right out the window on credibility. And Epstein didn't kill himself.
I want to know. I want to know how many of the big channels that actually pushed this crap out actually watched his story, his Instagram story, and you can't go back and see it anymore because it disappears with time. I want to know how many of them actually bothered to go look at his story, and I'm gonna guess it's somewhere around 0. Because if you watched his story, because I did before this all took off, there is no way you would have pushed this out. None. Because he was drunk. It was a mess. He was all over the place. and they pushed it out there with absolutely zero info. And we were live on Sarge's chat when this came through, and people were talking about it in the chat. And I told everybody in the chat last night, as it was going down, just back off and wait for the info to come out. And nobody did.
Right. So Sarge actually had.
Yeah, I'm very much in the same school. The same school of that. Honda's out there. Honda, if you want to link, I don't have your damn email still. If somebody wants to throw Honda a link, go ahead, buddy. Go ahead, Honda, if you want to jump in. This is a really good opportunity to see, like, let's see what's going on and learn what we can before this goes too far. I think there's a fine line though too between like, well, this is something that we need to get involved with before it's too late, and jumping in, before we know what's going on. That's a tough call for some people. But yeah, I think the internet makes it a little too easy to jump in and put your nose in everybody's business.
Where were those 100,000
The bitch
people?
of it is the info was out there.
Yeah, where were these 100,000 people on November 2nd? I'm just curious where they were all at November 2nd.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah.
Well, they were working. This was Saturday night, so they were off.
The rally was on a Saturday too.
Yeah, but they had to work Saturday during the day.
Oh,
this was Saturday night. This is Saturday night, so they were off Saturday night.
All right.
Well, they didn't have to do anything except hop on and hit the follow button on his Instagram page, and then start spouting off about how this is red flags and this is bootlickers and look at these pigs going in there. I mean, that's the people that are, he's got 152,000 followers now for a jackass who was drunk in his fucking garage attic.
Mm-hmm. And the first post that comes
sold
up
sold everybody a line, and they bought it hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, but the first post that came up, which I think was like from what I understand, was like the second or the third post. These communist, fascist, fucking pigs all need to die. Well, that was the end of that. So that's everything goes right out the window right there.
Yeah, and that's where
I'd be a little. Go ahead, Midnight.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead, buddy.
I'd be a little less upset about this whole thing if the people who had jumped the fucking shark last night had come out today and said, you know what, we fucked up. But you go over to Military Arms Channel, he's still saying it was the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's still saying that they were after this guy. And Mr. Guns and Gear has walked it back a little bit. I mean, I hate to say this, but Iraq veteran, 8888 is the only one who's actually walked it all the way back and said, no, we probably shouldn't have been about this whole thing. So if you're not going to admit you're wrong, then just at least shut the fuck up. If you're not going to admit you're wrong, just shut the fuck up and quit saying that everybody's a fucking bootlicker because they don't agree with you that you were wrong.
I do agree the base premise that they were standing for. Yes, absolutely.
I do too, and
for
that comes.
Government.
That's one of my questions is, Mac, and you brought up Mac, Tim, he's, one of his comments was, it's okay to witness a police action, which I believe. I mean, I think that's true. I think it is within our rights to be a witness to things that happen. And if you don't think so, then you're an advocate for a police state. And I don't necessarily disagree with that. I think to some extent that's true. I think when you have eyes on an event, it's good because you can kind of show what really happened. You know,
accountability.
Right, accountability. Great. That's a great way to put it. But I think it needs to be. I think it needs to be done in a professional. I don't want to say professional, but you know what I mean. I think it has to be done in the right way. You know, in Guns and Gears, with what Guns and Gears said, you know, he said something about cops. Somebody asked him about shooting cops, and he said no, you know, shoot traitors. I think he said, or something like that. And I was like, wow, that's tough. That's tough to hear. I did not want to hear somebody say something like that. That's you know, such a big voice in you know, I'll say our community. I think that was too much,
especially with his background.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a lot. I think that was over the line for sure.
Well, let me
trying to check the chat here a little bit.
Military arms.
Now again, he
put out there. I never called for violence and didn't see 9mm SMG or Mr. Guns and Gear or Iraq veteran 8888 calling for violence either. No, but the jackass that you promoted literally had one of his posts that I told them to bring me in writing that there'd be no jail time or there will be blood. That was on the jackass that you're promoting, his story. And if you'd taken the 2 minutes to go through and watch his story, you would have seen that shit. And to say that you're calling out all the half-literate book boys to go over there and just take video and watch a police action is disingenuous at best.
Yeah. Hindsight's 2020, man. I mean, it's easy to go out there. You know, some of these guys were really pushing to go out there full blast, and be kinky. I saw it. I saw something. I saw it. I just can't look through it and collect my thoughts right now. My thing too with the hindsight is 2020 thing. It's kind of the same mentality of the red flag laws to begin with. Is, you know, some situation happened the other night with this guy. Nobody knew 100% what it was, what started it, or what was going on, and they were calling for war to some extent. They were like, "Get down there, you know, this is it. Support him." You know, and they were really, really hot to trot about it. Same thing happens with red flag laws, and we don't like that. You know, somebody's, you know, thinks something might happen, or somebody's has something they shouldn't have, and we don't want people to just, you know, trample over their rights and you know, go red flag them and take away their property and throw them in jail just on something that might or might not be true. So it's kind of the same mentality, just on opposite ends of the field, right?
Well, look at it this way: you're sitting here watching, because I tried to go and find his Instagram stuff, and he was drinking. And then if you didn't watch his Instagram stuff, you didn't know what was going on. But furthermore, are you going to sit here and listen to some YouTube personality tell you to put yourself into harm's way when they're sitting there on their phone? I mean, look at all the people that tweeted that stuff that were YouTube people. They were all in the vicinity. They all live in that area. Why didn't they take their ass down there? You know, don't be listening to other people to make you define yourself in actions you take. You should look at this full story. I shared Carrie Sloan's, or not Carrie Sloan, the one lady from Gun Owners of America, whatever her name is. I shared her story. She's on the same boat. with everybody else. I said it was a sad situation if it's true, but you don't know it's true. But I'm sure in the hell not going to go down to somebody's, altercation and stick my nose in their business because some YouTube channel tells me to go down there and fight for rights. I think that's an overreach of all these bigger channels. And I think that's the problem with them is they have so much reach that they just go willy-nilly about stuff. So don't ever put yourself in that situation because Tim from Military Arms Channel, Mr. Guns and Gear, or anybody else tells you to go do something. You do what you have to do. This is what living in a free society is. It's bad enough that we have to take orders from pedophiles, tyrants, and scumbags that live in Washington, D.C. To sit here and try and take orders from some dude on YouTube who's just tweeting stuff and doesn't realize the situation, doesn't see him clinking his cup to his Instagram and slurring his words. Come on, man. I think that's a huge problem in the gun community. Is everybody, these guys do shoot. They do have these channels, but if you take every word that they say as genuine, I think you're a fool.
I think too there's quite a bit of similarity or you kind of parallel with what happened up at the Bundy Ranch too. I mean, that's kind of, they were in during a police action, and quite a few armed civilians went up there to be part of it and to keep the police in check, maybe the FBI in check, if you will. I don't know, something like that. It's not unheard of for things like that to happen.
Yeah, that's true. However, that's a little bit different because that was actually already pre-confirmed that what they were doing was absolutely totally illegal.
Right.
Okay. So before anybody even showed up there, they already knew that it was, it was south for the, south of the border right off the bat. So that was already pre-confirmed before they even, the first person showed up. A little bit different than this one, and they certainly weren't, calling out the bigger channels weren't calling out everybody and their grandmother because of somebody, some shit-faced numbnut screaming that. He's getting red flagged that he really wasn't.
Right. Well, that's why I named the chat what I did. Red flags and smoke and mirrors or whatever. Was for as far as it seems right now, what we're looking at is a guy that made some shitty choices. He did have warrants out for other things. Criminal trespassing and criminal contempt and some other aggravated harassment and some things. That's what I've read. Not that it is always going to be 100% true. That's just what I've read. He's made some bad choices. Got into a dispute, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh shit, now I'm in trouble again." And I think he was trying to throw some, smoke screens out there to try and. I don't know how he thought it was going to make things better, but that's what he did. Bad choice, bad decision. The cops even made cops made a statement about it too, and they said, "Jesus, this all the media, all the social media, and people showing up down there prolonged the event, and so they feel prolonged the event out so much too." So. Who knows? This might have taken an hour, half an hour, till they got him out of there. Now with all the social media and the people showing up, it took 8.5 hours, 9 hours, something like that.
This thing wasn't about social justice. This thing wasn't about right and wrong. This was about a big party. That's effectively what this guy did. Was he had a big internet party last night.
And along the same lines, if that is true, and he had those outstanding warrants, and he was also involved with a domestic at some point in time, he was already pre-flagged, so he's a prohibited possession to begin with. So
right,
okay, so he created the issue, Why are we trying to have somebody go in there and fix his issue that he created because of stupidity?
And I haven't been listening this whole time. Hi, by the way,
Honda. Go ahead, Honda. What's up? How you doing?
Hey,
Honda.
Nothing. Well, the point the point that I was going to make is, and I don't know if you guys have made it, is how negative it is for our community as a whole if it turns out that this guy was just doing this for some selfish reason and he wasn't actually telling the truth about it. I'm not saying that that's what happened. We have two sides of his story right now. Who knows what's right and what's wrong? But if it turns out that this guy was like involved in domestic violence and had like charges out and knew that the cops were coming for him because he was into illegal things and like decided to go onto social media and cry out for help, calling for the Second Amendment community to stand behind him because of red flag laws and things like that, then everyone else who ever has a problem with that is going to be the boy who cried wolf. And we're going to wonder whether or not that person's actually telling the truth or whether they're one of those people that's actually, being a liar like that. And that adds a whole dynamic of distrust to the community that didn't need to be introduced and is now part of the psyche. And I think that it needs to be evaluated and crushed down if we can, but I don't know if we can. And especially if this ends up being a completely, like that official story of this ends up being true, then that's something that we're going to have to deal with, Well,
I think too, my wife, one of the things that I have written down, I think is something that my wife might have said up there. Yeah, she kind of makes the same point. He kind of cried wolf. So what happens next time? How, what, and kind of what you're go along with what you're saying too, is what happens next time when somebody does really need a hand or somebody is getting like unjustly red flagged, we'll call it, and people are going to just pass it by as some more bullshit or, another faker, another crying wolf kind of situation. That's it's just like the Me Too thing where you find out that
I was going to say that's where I was just going to go with that. Yep, yeah, that's where I was going to go with that. Look at the Me Too.
Plus,
look how bad.
I was also going to go with that.
There's somebody sitting there explaining this to their parents, and their parents are like, "Yeah, see, that's why we need red flag laws." That makes perfect sense to me. This maniac shouldn't have guns. And
he didn't. That's what's crazy, though. But yeah, it's the same thing when some, a woman says that she was sexually assaulted, and guy ends up. Well, there was one last year with a college football player. A girl said that he assaulted her. He lost his not sponsorship. He lost his scholarship. He got kicked out of school, and then like a year later, she felt bad and actually got in contact with him and to apologize and say that she, it never happened. And it came out that she did that. And it's like, holy shit. Like, that's why so many women aren't believed. You know what I mean? Because there's so many of those, stories out there. It makes you scared to 100% believe somebody. G, you said you have an opinion. What's up? Go ahead.
I don't know if it's the right place to bring this up publicly, but I think we just discovered in the off-air chat here that GunTube might actually not be legal in some states. We've got 13 pro-gun people in this panel.
I know, right? I was just going to say the same thing. I was like, man, we're putting it through its paces tonight, right?
Hey, I'm not pro-gun. I'm just here for all the money I can make off guns.
Oh, here we go. Now, who the hell
I
is stopping
invested
here?
big time in this. I invested big time in this GunTube scam, and now it turns out that it's an interstate pro-gun
racketeering,
high capacity. Well, it's a high capacity check system. I didn't know it had this kind of capacity.
Just think of it this way: if Snob needs some, some votes there, some viewers, all he has to do is just start carving his foot up again, and man. I mean, he'll just have hundreds of thousands of likes and followers.
Now,
we're putting so much stress on.
Quick question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Snub. Now, G-Webs didn't trust you with one of these, did he?
No.
Otherwise, you would have taken your whole foot off.
Yeah, I totally wouldn't have a foot.
That's nice.
I don't think that's in scale. You should put that in scale with something.
In scale, okay. How about I put it in scale with my gun website, Zippo?
It's a machete.
Most people don't have one of those.
Most people don't have one
I
of
don't know,
those.
but whoever
You got a
keeps breathing
couple of
down my
those.
neck, it's kind of creepy.
Okay, how about a sody pop can?
That's a regular size soda pop, not one of them little
Those are-
baby.
Now wait a minute.
No,
wait
it's
a
a
minute.
12,
Good old
it's a
Stop.
12
standbys.
fluid ounce. Now
Stop.
I can put
Stop.
it up against
Hold that pop can up again.
what pop can? This
The
pop
first
can?
one. That was not Diet Beef Soda Zero.
Yeah, your point. We
Well,
don't
that
put
would
any
eat
cans.
right through aluminum.
We're not low rent. We don't put our stuff in aluminum cans.
You can't put Diet Beef Soda
Diet
Zero
Beef Zero
in an aluminum
eats right
can.
through it.
It'll eat right through them.
It'll lead it right. Yeah, it'll lead it away.
It has to be it has to
Yes.
be one of those laboratory glass systems.
Oh no, we just use the
But I
plastic
do-
containers.
Glass or nothing.
I do have an opinion on the. I don't even know what happened. I was doing other stuff. I wasn't online yesterday for the actual stuff that happened, but from seeing the aftermath, I have some idea, and from hearing what you guys are describing, I'm getting some idea what's happening. I heard a lot of like, and I hear this every single time, but it's always like when we have these after actions or whatever we want to call, like, just talking about whatever happened. It's always like we're always like what's the word? Extreme. Like we're close to. We're always jumping off of this, or we always do this, or people do this too often. Like this is just one time, and as far as I know, this is the first time anything like this has ever happened. Now, I guess you're comparing it to Bundy Ranch a little bit. And again, I don't know if whatever you guys kind of already went through that, but I'm just saying that wasn't the same kind of thing because that at least didn't happen overnight. And well, for all the reasons people have said in the chat, it wasn't exactly the same. But that's even if you do consider it similar for some reasons, that means we've had two situations like this, and they're years apart, and they're different. So this is the first time it ever happened. Doesn't something have to happen? I'm just playing devil's advocate, but doesn't something have to happen so that we can figure out our weaknesses and we get better? I mean, we practice shooting rifles. We don't expect to be perfect just because we bought targets and we have ammo and we go to the range. We don't then expect ourselves to be perfect. We know what we're supposed to do, but we don't expect ourselves to perform to that level right off the bat. So why should we expect our community to perform right off the bat? This is literally the first time this has happened. Or am I wrong? And this has happened. It's just the biggest one. It could have happened. And I'm just not aware of it.
I don't know. I can't imagine that this is the first time that somebody's done something like this. I just feel like this one really got out there in the ether, in the public, and I just feel like the way our culture is now, with everybody being so on social media and being so and using it so sometimes for good and sometimes exploiting it to such degrees. I mean, you see it with people that live stream themselves doing, committing murders and stuff. It's horrible. But
I have one other thing.
Go ahead.
I don't want to interrupt, but I just noticed that Dead Horse jumped in here. So that means that I've hung out at Dead Horse's house. I've hung out at Honda's house before. I know Snob. Met him. Met Kingpin. I don't know if I've met Ape. Hung out with Night Strike more than once. Hung out with Obnoxious a couple of times now. I don't think I know Moo, but I live in the same state as Glimtech. We'll eventually meet up. Met up with Roll Call in a couple of different states now, a couple of different times. Gary, met him a few times now, right? But every time I try to meet up with Pancakes, he closes his restaurant. Even answer a page or text.
Yeah, I know. Waffle Houses don't even close for like a hurricane, but if G's in town, they
like
shut them down.
24/7. Exactly. Like during the hurricane, they're like, bring your people here. We'll render Ape. Oh wait, who's coming?
And he's always working, but his store is always closed.
Yeah. It's a catch-22 for
His
sure.
wife's gonna get kind of suspicious out there if she listens to this.
She does.
She's out there.
For my wonderfully silky announcer's voice.
She even said, I'm not even saying next time. I'm saying if down the line, if things get really bad and red flag laws are rampant and America is near its breaking point and people are treated unconstitutionally. This was really bad. for if and when the time comes that civilians say enough. George, what's going on?
Who says they're not already rampant? We just don't hear about it on the media, most of the people. From what I've read, they are rampant. Thousands upon thousands have already been, suffered by red flag laws. What happened to our due process? What happened until innocent until proven guilty? That's the exact reason why we don't like red flag laws, right? Is because you're presumed guilty before anything, right? Is that right? That's why we don't like red flags, because they just believe one side of the story and they're like, oh, you're guilty, we're going to come take your guns, right? So I see the 2A community doing the same thing to this guy. Before any real evidence comes out or anything, they're just like, oh, the police released their side of the story. The news said this, so the guy's a bad guy and he cried wolf and da-da-da. That's what I see the 2A community doing right now. No. How many times have we all said in this chat that, oh, the media is fake news and the government lies to us? And then we take a war vet, an Afghan war vet, and just because the media says, oh, the guy was lying, now we just throw him under the bus, right?
I'm throwing him under the bus because of his stupid Instagram stories. If you watched his whole Instagram stories, you'd see the guy was batshit crazy drunk.
Yep, and not to mention the fact that when he goes on and he starts crying and pissing and moaning, he's drunk off his ass. That right out, that just throws any credibility.
Exactly the same thing. And what I said at the beginning is that if you watched his Instagram story, there's no way that you would have picked him as your poster boy.
Yeah, I didn't see the articles till way later than I saw the Instagram story, and I was not impressed by his Instagram stories.
I mean, I hope that I'm wrong about this, and I hope that what Dead Horse is saying is correct. And I think a lot of the time I actually fall on that side when I just look at our general media thing. But coming from some of the sources that I've seen, it seems like that's not the case. And like I said, I hope I'm wrong for the reasons that I already stated. And I think that it would just be terrible for all of us if that ends up being true. So hopefully Dead Horse is right. So let's reserve judgment.
I just want due process. I want due process for everyone, right? Everyone should have their day in court before they're just presumed to be guilty. And this guy hasn't had that yet. So, we don't have all the facts. Everyone's just, I think, throwing him under the bus before the facts. Yeah, he may have been drunk. He may be a weirdo. He may be a lot of things. But that doesn't mean that he wasn't right. That doesn't mean that the media is right. That, we don't know yet. But a lot of people are making a whole lot of assumptions off of very little evidence. And that's really concerning to me.
Well, they're swinging. They already swung one way based on little knowledge and hype or motion or whatever. And now they're having to swing back greatly because they swung so extremely off, last night, right? Like they're coming back. They're just trying to reverse their position after they figured out from whatever source that,
And even if you look at some of the posts he put on Instagram, people that said they knew him said he had warrants and that he had multiple warrants out for his arrest. So, I mean, whether those people are his friends or not, that's all I kept on reading in the majority of and it wasn't the same person posting that. So you can't, a warrant is a warrant, but still. I mean, you look at this guy, if they weren't there to get guns, what were they there for? They were there for a domestic violence call. Well, that has to be investigated, regardless of whatever the situation is. And that place has a red flag law, and domestic violence probably falls under that red flag law. So the only way to prevent this is not to have red flag laws, to get out, to be active. To go and vote and voice your opinion on red flag laws. Then you won't have these type of problems. I think that's one of the biggest solutions that you can do is continue to fight to keep these laws off your state books. And until that has to be, determined, you're going to have whether this is false or not, or whether the guy in Maryland that was shot. But look at his situation. That was a lie. That was a lie as well.
I think the I think first thing you need to understand, like we need to understand if what we think is true, like, and I mean, something still could come out, but the cops weren't there to red flag him. The cops were there because they got a call about a domestic incident, and nothing else mattered other than that. That's why the cops were there. Yeah, it sounds like maybe somebody he knew might have called the cops and said this, that, or the other thing, but that's not why they were there. They weren't there to red flag him. They were there because they got a call about a domestic incident.
Yeah, from what I understand from the quote unquote official report, they were there to investigate a previous incident from either the night before or the day before.
Yeah, the day before, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So this had really nothing to do with anything that particular time they were there for.
Yeah, they weren't looking for guns. They weren't there to confiscate anything. They were there because of that. And then, now what is weird, I mean, I don't know. We all know what a gunshot sounds like, especially without ear protection on. And a cop being there and saying he thought he heard a gunshot and then called for backup is a little bit odd. That's something I would be interested to hear, all about that side of it, because, I mean, if you're standing at somebody's front door or even, in their yard or something, to mistake something for a gunshot is a little bit odd, especially a police officer that you would think knows what a gunshot sounds like.
Yeah, I'll give him that one because that's a little far fetched there. That's like I said, like we were talking about at the beginning. That's like that's falling under the same guise as that smells like weed to me.
Yeah, I mean it is a little bit. What the hell did that cop? If the cop is really, if there's an officer really saying truly that he thought he heard a gunshot, did he what was that? I mean, it's a little bit. Maybe the guy was making popcorn. Horde George says, yeah, maybe.
Well, okay. So here's the other scenario. So I'll go from the law enforcement side of it. Being that I show up to investigate a call, I have somebody here that already night shifts that attendant is already going to have an attitude because he's already been involved. He has alcohol, so you take an asshole and you compound an asshole with alcohol. What happens? They become a bigger asshole. So now I'm trying to investigate a crime, and this guy's giving me a really hard time. Okay, so what? So now it's time to give a hard time back. Not saying it's right, but I can, from what I've been gathering and from what I've been hearing, I can see that happening. He was drunk. He was acting like an idiot, and sorry, but you're not gonna at that particular point in time, you're not gonna beat the cops. It's just not gonna happen. You're gonna lose.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that this whole situation has shown is our own strength as a community, and I don't know if it's a case of us like tipping our hand to the other side and like showing them our cards when we didn't necessarily need to, or if it's going to be like one of those situations where they're like, oh crap, like I didn't realize like they would get together like that, and now we got to do something about it. But either way, I think you're going to see some sort of a response from the whoever you want to call them at large about social media and sharing this kind of thing.
Well, I think it does.
Why? Because.
Sorry.
Go ahead, quick.
I think it does. It does show you what kind of power we have as a, as you say, as a community, but it does show you how quickly stuff can get out and become, live, quote unquote. It doesn't take long, man. It doesn't take long for stuff to start spreading around the internet. And that's good. I mean, that's good, and it's like what was it? Spider-Man. You use your powers for good, not evil, or some shit like that. That's we have this ability to mobilize like never before, but you got to know. We all have to be responsible enough to know when it is time to spread the word and when it's not. obnoxious.
With great power comes great responsibility.
There you go. Like I said, some shit like that.
But did we mobilize? No. You got a bunch of internet bug boys that went over and clicked follow on his Instagram page, and maybe some showed up at his place. Meanwhile, we had a rally in DC on November 2nd, and we had 2,000 people. So we didn't really show them the power of our community.
Right.
We showed them the power of the internet bug boys.
Yeah. Everybody went bananas on social media and spread this around like wildfire. But 2,000 people at the rally on the 2nd, you know.
But then again, if you put it in that perspective, you know, they do a 2A rally and give people what, a month? I don't even think it was that. It was like what, 3 weeks? And you got 2,000 people.
No, it was like more like 6 weeks, but yeah.
Okay. Well, you know, so they put something together for 6 weeks. Okay. And they get 2,000 people, and they try to, you know, pull something together here in a matter of hours, and they get nobody. That's, well, I don't know if that's a really good combination of showing there.
Well, the point is they didn't have nobody. Like, a bunch of people showed up, and that's what complicated the whole arrest and stuff, is because they had so many people showing up being like, where's the boogaloo, you know?
Yeah, but how many of those people flew from California to or however, I don't know, to New York, and Eric drove from Arizona in a van to go there from to New York, you know. There's a bunch of people that live in that guy's neighborhood.
Like I said, now we're getting conflicting stories. We're getting conflicting stories with that one because what we were talking about before the show started. What's his name up in Pennsylvania? Shit, I can't remember his name again. Damn it.
That's Black Cat Outdoors.
No.
It's rude to not remember that goes to your show.
I know, that's bullshit, man.
Yeah, well, you know, I try to forget. I try to forget as much as possible. Gun Collective.
Oh,
he actually had a guy on his show a little while ago, right before we started this show, that was actually there. And when he said when he got there was nobody there. And he got there within an hour or so after it was posted. And there was nobody at the house. He said he was there for about 45 minutes and there was nobody around. He finally got in his car and drove around, and like he said, like 3-4 blocks away, he found a whole bunch of cops at a gas station. So, but they're saying, oh yeah, there was a couple hundred people there interfering with what was going on. It's like, well, now they're saying that, but we have a guy who was actually there who says there was nobody there. So, you know, I was like, okay. And of course, if it's the media telling you that there was 100 people there, that was probably BS to begin with, just to.
So yeah, maybe that goes back to the point that I was making earlier. Like, they're going to use this to do something. Maybe no one showed up, but they're trying to espouse the perception that there was a bunch of people or something. And I don't mean into a frog chat or anything, but you know.
No, exactly. That's like I said. That's where we're getting the conflicting stories here, because, like I said, the one's saying he was there and he was only an hour away, and nobody was there. And then we have other people saying, "Oh yeah, well there was 100 people there, a couple hundred people there, interfering, and they couldn't get anything done, and blah 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 blah." Okay.
So then, you have, I don't know, some kind of an event at the lake, and somebody falls in the lake, and a bunch of people jump in to rescue the person, and they do, and the person gets out of the water, and it's over. Like, do you scold everybody who didn't jump in for not jumping in fast enough, or do you tell the people who did jump in they should have been better coordinated before jumping in together like that? Or do you, I don't know, you might scold the person who jumped in or fell in or whatever, but I guess what I'm getting at is, again, do we get growing pains? Do we get a chance to figure stuff out? I mean, does anybody think that this was, what do they call it? when like the government does something to test people's reaction as some sort of a government plot. Like, I don't think anybody thinks that, right? This is just a thing. A guy did this. It wasn't planned. It sort of happened. People reacted, and now we're evaluating it. And this is all within 48 hours or 24 hours even. Like, this is hours, basically. Right? Like, at what point do we give ourselves an opportunity to, like, go, okay, that happened. I mean, doesn't something have to happen like 6 times before you start going, this is a concerning trend? Or like, we suck at this? Or like, when are we going to figure this out? But this is like one instance, and it's never happened before, and I don't see it happening again. Is it? Are we really vulnerable here? What can we learn from it? And I guess, do we have to shame ourselves or slap ourselves on the back? Like, can we just say, hey, here's what happened, and I don't know.
Well,
can we even
I think that's
move on? It happens once. Do you have to change when things only happen once?
I think part of the conversation is, all right, this happened. What do we think was acceptable and what do we think wasn't? And yeah, like, you learn from it, and next time something happens, you're a little bit more appropriate with it. I think with social media being so accessible and being able to live stream and stuff, and being able to show up at the scene if you want, is it appropriate to show up at a scene like that? What do you guys think? First of all, people put calls out to, hey, get there and help out, get there and be part of this. Do you each think it's appropriate for people to show up at an event and police action like this?
Depends.
Can somebody do a summary of it again? Because I don't know.
Yeah, real quick. Okay, so this guy apparently he's a vet. He is a young guy, 28. He's a vet.
Nobody's ever heard of this guy before, correct? Like, right, he's just some guy. He's not
just a dude. Celebrity. Right, Instagram dude, like whatever, just a dude. He had gotten into some trouble with the law and before, so he, that's in the past. Recently, he got the cops came to the house because of a domestic incident, whatever that was. We don't really know. When a cop came to the house, the cop said, apparently, what's hearsay so far is that a friend of his that he knew, I think that was in the military with him, said that he had PTSD and probably had high capacity mags, which you wouldn't be allowed to have in New York City. It turns out afterwards that there were no guns and no mags in the house that the cops could find. So we don't really know what's up with that. But so the cop shows up. The cop says, I think I heard a gunshot, and calls for backup. Backup turns into SWAT teams. SWAT teams turns into an armored personnel carrier down the street. And this guy is live streaming the whole thing online on Instagram and basically saying that he's being red flagged and basically saying, and just really going off when he was calling the cops red coats. And I forget what else. I mean, he really it was very incendiary comments, right? Basically propping himself up as a victim of red flag laws and also as a patriot, really. So after 8 hours or so, cops got him out of there and they took him away without incident. But in the meantime, there's been quite a few people that were really pushing the public and 2A supporters to go back this guy up. So that's kind of where I'm at too, is, and that's where my question is, do you guys, knowing what we knew at the time, which was quite possibly that this could have been a red flag incident. I mean, so some of you guys say that you knew right off the bat that you thought the guy was full of shit. But regardless of that, even if it does look like this is a red flag incident and the guy was not full of shit and this was legit, do you think it's in our best interests to for Pro 2A supporters to convene there. What do you guys think?
No. At a court, yes. Like in a courtroom, yes. Where police are doing their business, it's dangerous and inappropriate and criminal, I think. Do we have any cops in here?
Well, it's only criminal if you interfere. Just by being there, you're okay.
But I mean, by being there, if enough people are there, though, and you create a scene, and all of a sudden you're creating you're right, though. You'd have to do something to be the one pick.
Yeah, you're creating. If you're creating a hazard, or
contributing to it, like they could start getting picky and be like, "Well, you're the one parked closer," or like you're the ones going to jail, as an example. Because what they're gonna turn around and do is they're gonna turn around and go, okay, well now we just moved our border back to a half a mile or to 2 blocks, so everybody back up. You don't back up, you go to jail. Simple as that. So they'll just back you up for a half a mile to a mile or 2 miles, and that'll be the end of that. You don't comply, you go to jail.
I think there's a. Go ahead.
Was this guy like in the kitchen? Did he just go to the kitchen? Because that's what I would.
No, that you would think so. If he went in the kitchen, he'd probably still be in there. They wouldn't have been able to get him.
No, wait a second, because he did leave the house, and he did go to the apartment above the garage, which was in the kitchen.
That's
so it had a second floor kitchen.
He might have been sitting in the middle of a kitchen, and that's why it took him.
There you go.
It's going to like home base. Like you once you tag a kitchen, they can't. You're good.
Yeah.
Should we all give a gun to a friend? That way, in case like any one of us gets red flagged, we can all still have a gun.
I would never for anybody.
You actually bring that up, and this is actually kind of I just saw that yesterday it was. They actually have an insurance place out right now that actually does cover, and this is concealed carry insurance, that actually does cover red flag laws. So if you would get red flagged, they will get you a gun. They will get you a gun to have you carry that gun until your red flag laws are taken care of.
That's the one that Steven Crowder has.
Steven Crowder, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one that Crowder promotes.
Yeah.
Actually, from what I understand, CCW Safe is actually going to that route as well. That's one of going to be their new things coming out here in January.
Kinky says, so if the cop didn't overreact, maybe this could have been avoided. The cops themselves said that without the social media influence, that they believe this would have been a much, much simpler and much shorter situation. Whether they, who knows. But and Gizzard saying it's hard to know if the cop overreacted or not since we weren't there. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the only thing that I feel is really kind of fishy is the whole I heard a gunshot thing from the first responding officer, because he had some knowledge about the guy.
But again,
I don't know what happened, but I feel like there couldn't have been more than like 5 cops there, and there's like 11 people in here, so surely we don't.
Yeah, they're always the ones that like sprinkle crack over like the dead fucking kid they just shot. Like, oh, he had crack, or whatever. I'm not saying like every cop. I'm not saying every cop does that every time, but it's not like cops are like 100% fucking legit 100% of the time either.
Okay, but then again, in the same breath, okay, you're going by hearsay on what was supposedly said. Okay, they're only saying that, well, yeah, the cop said that he heard a shot, but did he actually say that? Or was there actually something legitimately, going on there that he actually called for backup for? You don't know because you weren't there, and you're only going by what he said because
news report.
Yeah, no, that's what the guy said on his when he was tweeting out or when he was Instagramming about it, that they said, yeah, he tried to come in because he said he heard a gunshot. Okay, that's what he's saying. So again, and like I said before,
no, I got that off the actual news report.
Was it?
That was off the police report. Yeah.
Was it? Okay. So
Yeah, but there's
but again,
also the
too,
difference between like a news report that like summarizes it, and then like listening to the scanner, or like a news report that quotes the scanner or something. You know, like and like a police report versus a news report, which again is just going to try to summarize it. Often they're like summarizing it inaccurately or just incorrectly.
Yeah, if the cop was wrong, the cop was wrong. Okay, I don't have a problem, chastising him for that. But until there's an actual investigation and the actual truth comes out, or something remotely close to the truth, because like I said, number one, the guy who he's dealing with has already had contact with law enforcement, so he's already a pissy mood to begin with, 9 chances out of 10. They're asking him questions about something that he didn't want to really probably be talking about from the day before, and he was intoxicated. Like I said, you take alcohol, you compound an alcohol with an asshole. What happens? They become a bigger asshole. Sorry, but it's just the facts of life.
Is there something that you can drink or eat or something that would make you not, how like for other drugs you can inject them with it and it takes them, they're not high anymore? Like, is there something that makes you not drunk anymore?
Time.
No, time. That's it. That's the only thing. That's the only thing until that works out of your system. Yeah, like with meth and stuff like that, you can do. Yeah, meth and stuff like that, you can do Narcan, and it's like boom, instantaneous.
Now, does that make you like? I know that it saves your life, but it does. If they're like crazy tripping balls, does that you squirt them with that or inject them? Does that? I think it goes in their nose, right? Like, does that bring them down to where they're normal again, or does it just move their life?
No, it kind of
okay. So they're
100%
they're not high anymore.
No, within 5 minutes.
If they had something like that for booze,
no, they don't.
If they had something like that for booze, wouldn't that be good?
Oh, if they did, yeah.
But on somebody and they're not.
Joe Rogan has a whole podcast about something you can take that'll instantly sober you up.
Okay, that would be news to the rest of the world, because I don't think there's anything like that out there.
Cocaine.
Joe Rogan has a podcast where he's sitting down talking to a doctor about it, and it's some kind of supplement that you can take that pretty much instantly. So not only does it sober you up, but it allows you to keep drinking alcohol without the side effect.
Okay, that would be an interesting one, because
being drunk and having alcohol poisoning is also two different things.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
A lot of times I'm
sure if that was actually legitimate, there would be so much of that out there right now, and that would be so popular, it would be unbelievable.
A lot of times I'll be in like a high stakes international pie gout tournament, and I'll have to bribe the bartender to send me waters instead of vodkas. But if I had that pill, then I could save a lot of money on bribing bartenders.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. You just gotta look like you're really drunk. Still, that's the trick.
Mm-hmm. That's how you win.
Soda with lime. Act like you're drunk.
A lot of people think you're playing against the ball bearing, but you're really playing against the other flag out players.
Wow.
Wow,
he
murdered the chat.
He murdered the chat with his, with his penny pinching.
Everybody's Googling pie gow now.
Yeah.
Like you never played high stakes international pie gow.
So Travis, your mic's muted.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
you were muted. You were talking. We couldn't hear a word you were saying.
Yeah, I was wondering. It was so awkwardly silent. I'm like, where's the host of this show?
I was talking about G's pie eating contest.
He's Midnight Mime TM.
What was that movie where they had the pie eating contest and then everyone started puking?
Right.
Stand By Me.
Ah, yes. That was great.
Yeah.
He ate Epicac in the pie eating contest.
Another win for pancakes. You see how quick the answer was? Another win for pancakes.
Yeah.
More points.
Pancakes.
You can't buy that anymore.
You can't buy Epicac anymore?
No, it's behind the what do you call it? The pharmacist has to give it to you. You don't need a prescription, but you got to ask them. I guess because of the kids are using it to do eating disorders.
For the binge and purge.
But I had a problem with my dog. A puppy one time ate something, and I wanted to make the puppy puke, right? And I figured, oh shit, I'm gonna go get some Ipecac because it's not like I have that ever. And it took forever. I had to find the only one with like an all-night place with a pharmacist in it. This was a long time ago, so that wasn't like a common thing. I had to find like the only place in town that still had a pharmacist.
Just use peroxide.
Yeah, that works pretty well.
Yeah, I think I had tried already, and I was worried. I had tried that already like twice, and like not going to keep doing that to my puppy. I figured I'd just try the other stuff to make it happen. It did work though, by the way.
Eye drops will give him the shits. So.
Yeah, that was I remember that in high school. People used to do that. They would put like Visine in people's drinks.
Yeah, that used to be an old bartender's trick back in the day. Yeah. You know, when you had really miserable asshole customers, you'd drop some Visine in their beer or whatever. And
I've never had it happen. I've never had it done to me, but I've seen it. I've seen people do it. Yeah,
I've never seen.
I don't know what about the Visine does.
Does that work?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there you go.
And it has nothing to do with dilating veins, which also affects sphincters.
Yeah, anyway. Not at all. Nothing at all like that. Speaking to somebody who might know how to might know a little bit about that.
of the kinky variety.
The sphincters.
I just paid attention in high school science class.
There you go.
Sure about that?
Sounds
sure
like
wasn't part of a plot to get rid of Monday night free wings.
Yeah,
probably.
That's Thursday night, and every Thursday you see me is on the worst day of my life.
Well,
oh man, talking about wings. I had an epiphany. The light bulb went off the other day at work. I'm doing keto, and I was just like out of nowhere. I was like, you know what? I could still have wings. I was like, I got happy for about 5. I was like, all right, I gotta get me some wings.
Can you have all the sauces? Can they be deep fried, or can you just have wings?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
You just can't have them breaded, and you got to stay away from all the carbs and stuff. But
you can still do sugar.
Yeah, you could still do like hot wings. Yeah.
The buffalo sauce doesn't count. It's got butter in it and stuff.
Butter's fine. Fats are fine.
Is that karate?
Keto. Keto. Yeah, keto.
Keto is ketosis.
Yeah.
So
he's going after his 4th degree black belt.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the guy from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie, Keno.
No.
Boy, there's a random.
Keno.
Yeah.
It's a type of diet. No. I guess the diet didn't work for Midnight Range.
What'd you say?
I guess the Atkins diet didn't work for you.
No, I didn't. I just decided to do keto. I don't know. I like the fact of I liked a lot of the stuff on it. My wife was doing it, and I'm doing really well with it. To tell you the truth, I'm on like week 2. In 2 weeks, the worst things I've eaten. I ate 1 cookie and I had a chicken tender. 1 chicken tender.
That's awful.
And now you're going straight to hell. Straight to hell.
Other than that, no carbs and almost no sugar. There's a little bit of sugar here and there, like in stuff, like a little salad dressing and stuff like that. But no sugar in my drinks. I haven't added sugar to anything. Yeah, I'm taking names. It was I didn't even cook. We get these cookies at work that we bake. We buy the dough. Like we buy the pucks, you know what I mean?
It's the take and bake stuff, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah, and then it's for daytime, and we sell a lot of cookies, and we do them for not to-go stuff, but caterings and stuff like that. So they're really good. They're really good products, but I ate a half of like a chunk of a peanut butter cookie. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Midnight, I gotta hit the bed. Everybody
All right.
have a great night. Thanks for having
See you,
me,
buddy.
and
Thank
see
you,
y'all
guys.
later.
Thanks, man.
Thank you,
Good
guys.
night, man.
Peace, God.
Ape is
See you later,
saying,
Tank
does honey count? Yeah, honey counts.
So does fruit. So does
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
just about anything, really. I mean, shit, like
Yeah.
pancakes. You
Yeah.
can't have you can't have pancakes.
Nope, no pancakes. Haven't had a pancake. I haven't.
You're gonna have to change your logo, bro. Like,
no. Why
I'll
would
tell you what,
pancakes
that
have
was-
pancakes? He's not a cannibal.
Yesterday for when I was at work for brunch was the hardest time I've had since I've been on it because you can eat omelets, you can eat all sorts of you can eat good stuff. It's not a big deal.
Bacon, eggs.
Yeah, but I really, really wanted some kind of bread or something. Yeah, so like toast. I just ate an omelet, and I really wanted to have toast with it. That was really tough. I didn't, but that was hard.
It's the hardest thing you ever did.
That's tough, man. It's an addiction, man. I mean, it really is. I mean, people get addicted to lots of different things in their life. I have trouble with food. And as
Mia just set up there the cauliflower pizza crust, dude. That is awesome.
Yeah. There's a lot of cauliflower stuff that's really good. They do like they dry it and puree, like not puree it, but they turn it into like a powder. It's like Honda. If I was talking to people about it, and people say like you're a chef, and it's like, oh, it must be easy if you want to go on a diet or whatever because you know how to make lots of stuff and you got all that stuff at the at the restaurant.
Wow,
and,
talk about the poor-ass loser.
Yeah. People say, like
you're going to do that, you're going to end up losing your foot from the diabetes.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it must be really easy, you can just make whatever you want.
Yeah,
but it's like an
Don't
eat
it slowly.
Slower. Slowly.
I'm not sitting there beside you.
Swallow.
You can swallow it.
Bread is poison, delicious poison. Yeah.
I can't stop laughing.
There you go. Look at that guy taking off. That's a weird looking pancake.
Run as fast as you can. Can't catch me. I'm the pancake.
The pancake man. The pancake man.
Did you just assume the gender of this delicious griddle cake?
I've read that book before.
Pancake woman.
It's pancake person.
Yeah.
Homophobe. Sexist. I don't know.
Robbie. You put a little pancake in Robbie's hand there.
Oh, I ain't got no pancakes for Robbie's hand.
How did I lose? There we go. Now,
it's like when Atkins first came out, I started the Atkins diet and gained 20 pounds.
That's kind of what
I lost 100 pounds.
And that's just in one big poop.
Yeah, I named it Midnight Range.
My baby boy. My boy.
Wait a minute.
My baby back.
Wait a minute. I'm white. My wife is white. Darn it, woman, you slept with a black man because I just happened to give birth to a chocolate-colored baby. That's not how that works.
Baby.
No,
Get in my belly.
Oh man! So what else? What else we got in the news? Ginsburg is sick, right? I got that written down.
Allegedly,
Ginsburg is AWOL.
Don't give
again.
us hope. Do not give us hope.
And that's not that she's allegedly sick. It's allegedly that is in fact Ginsburg.
Well, no, they're just replacing her embalming fluid, so she appears to be not dead still and continuing with life.
I just thought they had to do a carpal tunnel surgery on the person that's got his hand stuck up in the back of her head, making her talk.
Mm.
Yeah, that too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Pulled something.
Yeah, as I said, you have any idea what? Oh, the disaster that would be if she goes out and Trump gets to put somebody else in there again.
It'll be a complete shit show in the media, but I don't know, the Dems might just do what Republicans did for Obama and just kind of block for 2 years.
The problem is, if she died and we had to, and there need to be replacement, they'd have to stop the impeachment in order to go and take care of that.
That's
to
true.
block it or to they'd have to shelve the whole impeachment thing in order to either block it or let it go through.
What are you saying? That's going to be blocked to go through?
It sounds like they're shelving the whole impeachment thing as it is, because it doesn't seem to be going very well for them, right?
They're not going to shelve it. They're going to ride it.
But the thing of it
they're
is,
going to ride it as
Adam
long as they
Schiff
can.
says he has an ironclad case against Trump, but I'm like,
he's full of shit too. But
your ironclad is paper thin and can burn down at any moment.
well, like I said, they're so confident about that. They're actually telling the Republicans in the Senate to vote for the impeachment and have it go through, so it can go to the House, so they can have their turn and they can call their witnesses. They can call Biden's, and they can hammer the quote unquote whistleblower that nobody knows who it is, even though everybody does. And so they're really debating on what they're going to do here, because they're probably not even going to bring it up for vote, because otherwise they're going to get screwed more so than they already are.
Well, the question is, how long is are the American people going to go along with them continuing the charade, knowing that it's just a charade, right?
Well, they're already fed up with it now.
Yeah.
Like I said, the last poll,
some people are fed up with it. The average
Older people are fed up.
Yes. Well, older people were fed up with the fact
they're not doing
for the first part of, oh yeah, we think Trump had something with Russia, and that's drug on for so long. It's just they don't care about the reason. They just want to go, stop. We don't care about Trump or whatever stupid stuff you're trying to do. Just go back to reporting on actual news. Uh-oh.
Anybody seen none of these things before? Never seen this before. You get in order to verify you're not a robot, you got to prove this thing.
That's the other thing they wanted to do too, is they wanted to push that off to send it over to the House, so they can tie up all those Democrat politicians running. So because they can't run their campaigns, because they're going to get stuck there during the entire year.
Well, no. It's the House first has to vote on it and do their thing. Then it gets pushed to the Senate for, I want to say final judgment or something like that, which it's not.
Senate has to prosecute.
Yeah. So it's more than likely no one on the Republicans is going to do jack or shit about it. Once it gets there, they're just going to kind of go, oh, yep, that goes right in the desk there.
Well, like I said, if they do it right, when it goes over there, they just tie this up for the next 6 months, 7 months. All those guys that are out there that have to campaign, they can't campaign. They can't do squat. They're stuck there with that crap. What more can they ask for? It's going to be a free walk.
Yeah, but then the Dems will just keep whining that they're dragging their feet and taking too long for doing this. And that's keeping us from campaigning. So they're clearly trying to. They're just going to keep whining about it. They're going to keep whining until Trump gets out of office, whatever that is, whether it's in another 4 or 5 years or whether it's in the next year. They're going to keep complaining about it. And then
I'm just jumping in here. I was just going to jump in.
Oh God!
Thanks for the invite. Shut up, Night Strike. How much time's being wasted on trying to impeach Trump? Come on.
No.
What they're supposed
Not
to be
just
doing?
how
It's
much
just
time. How much money?
money. Yeah.
They've been doing this since he got in office, man. They've been doing it since the day one when all the anti-Trumpers were like,
before he got inaugurated.
I think armament's on the right track. They're doing their dance, acting like they're doing a job, but instead of actually doing anything, they've created this fake goal, and they're working towards it, quote unquote. But their base is going to be happy, but they're really doing nothing. But their base love it because they're trying to get rid of Trump.
dude, they're using rules for radicals. They're using some of those rules too. You know, like do what's unethical because the other side's going to blame you for being unethical anyway, and hold up the other side to their own rule book, and like all that stuff.
No, I was just going to quick comment. I can't remember which representative it was, but he basically said, "Welcome to Impeach-a-Palooza," and he basically said, from the start, you got nothing, and he starts piling books up, but he calls it Impeach-a-Palooza, and really, think about it. It's like
that was the closing statements, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a dog and pony show.
Exactly, and wasting time
because of this
money.
impeachment process. Because of this impeachment process, if it fails, it nulls his first term, which means Trump could run for 2 more terms. Do you guys know that? So that means he can not only run in 2020, he can run in 2024.
Really?
I think after our Constitution, you can't have political office anymore.
No,
I thought you only could do 8 years.
No, if the impeachment fails, it nulls this whole first term for him. It doesn't count, which means he can run again in 2024. That for real. It's a real thing. It's in the Constitution.
Yeah, well, so's the Second Amendment.
Well, now hold on.
Very good point. Yeah.
Wasn't Slick Willie impeached or
successfully impeached?
He resigned. Successfully impeached if the impeachment.
I said Slick Willie, not the Tricky Dick.
Yeah, so no, he was acquitted.
Yeah, he was.
I heard Slick Willie had a tricky dick, though. Oh, anyway.
Yeah, what did he do? Give
Tricky Dick resigned, but
pardon?
yeah, Slick Willie was acquitted.
Slick Willie liked his cigars. Oh, was that too far?
No,
we Slick Willie got No.
Yeah. I did not have sexual relations. Yeah, the funny thing about that was like, well, I didn't realize oral sex was sex. I'm like, what?
It's in the word.
It depends on what your definition of is.
Is.
Depends on what your definition of inhaled is.
Right.
I smoke.
No, but that's literally a quote from his deposition that he gave when they were asking him questions, and they were like, what is your relationship with Monica Lewinsky? And he's like, depends on what your definition of is.
That's like saying I did that one.
You're a swarmy little fucking slimy bastard. Damn. No wonder you're president.
Yeah, he's 100% full of shit.
Well, as far as the whole, if it fails, Trump could technically run for a 3rd term. Yeah, I don't see that going over.
Do you think he'd want to? With how the first term went, and obviously how, if that's true, how the second term would probably go would just be 4 more years of cripplingly, agingly stressful work, and then they're like, "Hey, do you want to do it again?" You're like, "Nah, dude, I'm cool."
I didn't think you would ever want to do a second term, but it sure as hell looks like he does.
Well, he's not running, right? Unless he's just planning on being impeached.
No, he's since this impeachment thing has started.
Yeah.
He has gotten so much money out of this deal, it's been unbelievable.
I don't know. Part of it is Trump kind of being somebody saying, "Oh, you can't do this," or "We're going to do something you don't like," and him just saying, "No, you're not. You want me out? No, screw you. I'm staying in."
Yep, and just for that, I'm going to stay in for a second term.
Yep.
And if you really piss me off, I'm going to make it a third.
Yeah, it's nice being on other people's chats when you don't have to worry about these awkward pauses and stuff.
Exactly.
I don't know about,
you just let them happen, man. It's great.
I think, yeah.
I don't know. After listening to NPR for a while, I'm wondering if they hate Trump so bad, or if, again, this is just like gimme. Like they know they can call it in. They can say, "Oh, Trump's bad. We hate Trump," and they basically get a 4-year breather. And I don't know. I don't get the impression that they're refocusing a fighting strategy or anything. I think they're just lazy, and they're just looking at it like, well, we could do real work. You know, I'm thinking of like the media or like individuals or just, you know, parties or whatever you want to look at. I think that they could go, well, we could do real work, and we could actually come up with ideas here, because they've come up with nothing. Am I wrong? I mean, I don't think I'm being like just dumb about it. I don't think either side has come up with anything. Instead, they're all just focusing on this stupid tetherball game of Trump is a bad guy, and we're all distracted and letting them, again, act like they're accomplishing something when really nothing is getting done. Like everything's just sitting kind of idle.
Right.
Well,
as far as
I
like
think,
economy
honestly,
and healthcare and
as far as the Democrat side goes, I don't think, not only have they not gotten anywhere to hurt Trump, they're really hurting themselves a lot now. You know, the whole Biden thing that's come out, like, Biden was the front runner, and I mean, he's losing ground like a son of a bitch. Depending on how far the whole Biden things go, this could bury him too.
Well, and it's funny hearing the left media talk about that, because they're like, oh, there's absolutely zero evidence whatsoever that Biden or his son have done anything wrong ever. Like all of these like complete absolutes where it's like, well, there seems to be like direct evidence that shows that they might have been doing something crazy. So your blanket statement saying that there's absolutely zero evidence of something of whatever is a blatant lie, because I can point to the thing that is evidence right there. Like here's him at the fucking UN or whatever it was, giving a speech bragging about holding $1 billion loan over the Ukraine president's head in order to get a prosecutor fired. And they got their $1 billion, and we left the next day. Like that's the fucking quote. What do you think that part was? You know, like that's exactly what they're talking about.
And
I think that's why he didn't run last time.
I was just going to say, be careful what you say. Don't get Clintoned.
Well, he's not talking
about this whole thing.
I'll just say that
the absolutes, it's just it's an outgrowth of the whole
at no point
of the whole meme culture of there is no gray area. It's either it can't be, oh yeah, you've done some things under the table that you don't want to see, no one really wants to see in the light of day. It's, oh no, he's the biggest Boy Scout, the most bestest, goodest person of all time. Or, no, you are Satan incarnate. You like kicking puppies and drinking the blood of kittens.
Most Democrats do.
You know, it just becomes...
Funny night strike. Funny night strike.
All I have to say is I know nothing about Biden or the Clintons that is not in the general public knowledge, and I have been at no point in my life suicidal.
I know nothing.
Find me dead.
No, I'm not suicidal. No. Yep.
Nope.
Nope.
The only thing I know is that whatever deity or whatever that the Clintons sold their soul to really missed their chance in Damascus, Arkansas to get rid of them. So
anyways, speaking of the presidency, did you hear who said he was running for president now?
Yeah, I have that written down too. Yeah.
So this might be a nice segue for you.
Well, here,
Bloomberg?
I have an article.
Now are we talking? Are we talking Bloomberg?
Yes.
We may be. Yes.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say G-Webs. I was like, I'll vote for G-Webs.
Well, G-Webs will win by a landslide.
He threw his hat out. Fuck yeah.
G-Webs for president. And start a campaign.
If G-Webs ran for president, there'd be no contest. So, obviously he's not running.
If you elect him, he'll show his face.
Because all I'll do is show up, repeal the NFA,
peace
out, erase as much shit as I can.
Yep, that's why we're rooting for you, buddy.
Okay, hold on. G, who's your running mate? Because if your running mate's Marshmallow, you'll get all the votes.
You will.
Marshmallow?
Yes.
It's a dog.
His fluffy puppy? So fluffy.
Yeah.
The dog is very fluffy.
Oh.
So
speaking of puppies, I'm just going to throw this in here. One of my old friends went shooting the other day, brought out his new pup, about an 18-month-old Australian Shepherd. Awesome pup. She immediately, friends, buddy, blah, blah, blah. And he brought her out because he wants to take her hunting, but wanted to get her acclimated to gunfire. But, yeah, such a sweet pup. Good dog. I'll let it go at that.
Good dog.
All right, Midnight, since we derailed your announcement. Get on your announcement.
Yeah, I had an article pulled up by
I feel like
CNN.
rude when people, especially in a large chat like this, interrupt the host when they've got something important to say, because that's just common decency to let the host say something when they have something.
Yeah, it's common decency, not just to run over him when he's trying to talk with something very important that may or may not have to do with Epstein.
And you fucks complain about weird pauses.
The lack of professionalism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're worried about a couple of seconds worth of pausing, and then try and bring something up important to our country, and
Epstein didn't kill himself.
About nonsense. You go all dehydrated and just babble about nonsense for 3 hours.
Epstein himself?
Did you see that series of tweets from, I think it was a Arizona senator, that was like the first letter of every tweet was a sentence, and it was Epstein didn't kill himself.
And he did it backwards too.
So he ended with E, the very last one.
Yeah. Make it even less conspicuous.
Yeah, you should go check one of the things on Matt's Discord and look at the stack of DVDs very carefully.
So, Michael Bloomberg officially announced his late entry Democratic presidential bid on Sunday, unveiling a campaign that the former New York mayor said will be squarely aimed at defeating President Donald Trump. Bloomberg, in a letter explaining his candidacy on his website, lays out a more moderate vision for the country and casts himself as a doer and a problem solver, not a talker. I'm running for president to defeat Donald Trump and rebuild America. We cannot afford 4 more years of Trump's reckless and unethical actions. I don't know, man.
Fuck that fucker.
Seems like he's...
Yeah, because God forbid that we let somebody else's ineffectual and reckless behavior lead the country.
Right.
I hate how they always use such
somebody that's had a sugar-free soda alternative is now all of a sudden rooting for Bloomberg for president. Interesting.
I hate how they use such general terms like he's reckless and the blah blah blah. Yeah. Like give us a specific concrete example and then tell us conversely how your policies would differ. That would be like an argument,
That's that kind of goes along with the narrative, the way that media uses words is, I mean, it goes back to the first topic of the night with this standoff in New York. If you saw the articles, a lot of the articles on it, they made it sound like this dude was barricaded. I mean, they used the word barricaded in like almost all of them, barricaded in his home. makes it sound like he's went in there and threw a bunch of chairs and a refrigerator in front of the door so you couldn't get in, and he was upstairs with an RPG or something, when it was really just him more being a smartass than anything else. But yeah, for sure, it's Trump's reckless and unethical actions.
Well, and like unethical, I could see as far as like Stormy Daniels or something, but like show me like a policy that he's been unethical about, something that actually affects government, not his personal life. And that's the other thing that I have about it. Like he was schwarmy. Everyone knew that he was kind of like dirty with girls or whatever, and they voted for him anyway. So any kind of attack that they levy against him is going to be ineffective for anyone who voted for him, in spite of the fact that because they knew about it. It's not like, oh, I didn't know Trump would like grab a woman's ass or something. Like, oh, I voted for him, now I feel dirty. Like, no, you're like, I knew he was good at business. I knew he was good at negotiating. So when I voted for him, and he like
a lot of people didn't vote for Trump, they didn't vote for Hillary, and that was the way to not vote for Hillary. So when these idiots come out and act like everybody who doesn't, well, hold on, I'm saying when these idiots come out and say that everybody who didn't vote for them or everybody who doesn't agree with them right now is somehow on Trump's team, they might as well be yelling with the mic turned off, because I know they're upset and pissed about something, but they're not talking to me because I didn't vote for fucking Trump, and I don't really know anybody who did, I don't think. Or not very many people who do. Let's put it that way.
So he did the other day when I saw he did this the other day, and I was like, oh shit, he's gonna come out and say that he's running for president for sure after this one. He spent $37 million worth of TV ads, 60-second spots across 100 different markets to begin next week.
That was Bloomberg. That's Bloomberg.
Yeah. He's getting hammered. Yeah. He's getting hammered by the Democratic Party about it too.
Well, that's what. Yeah, Bernie
against. He spent $50 million against guns in a single year. In a whole year, he spent $50 million against guns.
Gee, I was just going to bring that up. You're exactly right. How much does this guy have? An endless bank account? I mean, 50.
Yeah, he's like the 10th wealthiest person. He has more money than anybody.
Yeah, this is like
awesome. I wish he had.
Yeah, this is like a weekend.
How did Bloomberg make his money?
Wasn't it news?
Yeah.
Yeah, he made most of it.
Yeah.
So he just like owns like New York Times and shit like that, and he's like the richest person in the world.
Lots of stuff.
One of them.
Lots of stuff. You don't earn that. You don't become like the 10th or 14th. He's not that high. He's like the 20th richest person, period, but like 10th richest person in this country or something like that. And you get that money by making money make money. You don't go to a 9-to-5 job and make that kind of money. So he's done it with many things over the years, and he's been very successful. But I personally wish he would put his hat in the ring, because if they're going to consider Trump evil because he's rich, Trump is a bitch compared to Bloomberg. Bloomberg's
he was partner at Solomon Brothers in 1973. Solomon Brothers was an investment group that had housing and stuff that went under in the housing market crash in 2008.
Yeah, but Bloomberg's been, Bloomberg since before that. No, and gee, the whole thing with, or going along your line of thought with they hate Trump because he's rich, so they're gonna definitely hate Bloomberg because he's rich. They don't give a plug nickel. Hold on. They don't give a plug nickel about that, because how many millions of dollars does freaking Bernie have? And they love Bernie. No, they'll turn a blind eye. They'll stand there with their hand in the cookie jar, pointing to them, saying, "No, you're the bad person. You're the bad person taking stuff because you have a hand in the cookie jar as well. Don't pay attention to where our hand is."
No, I hear you, but he's $54 billion. I just looked it up right now. Ninth richest person in the United States, 14th richest person in the world. So I hear what you're saying, but this is many, many times bigger than anything we've ever dealt with before. Ninth richest person in the United States. It'd be very difficult for that glass house to pay for all the black eyes he would get, because there's no way he can say anything to any of us. He's got the kind of money, like, this is literally, I don't know enough about history, but I know that back in the day, didn't some of the rich people, back when there was like seriously rich people, didn't they just sort of bail out our country more than once?
Yeah, that was J.P. Morgan.
Didn't they literally?
J.P. Morgan.
Right.
J.P. Morgan bailed out our country. Yep.
So if this guy comes out and says, "Hey, we got a big tax bill or whatever," here it is.
That's a great oversimplification of what actually happened. J.P. Morgan instigated the crash by saying that his rival bank was insolvent, creating a run on the banks, and then bought up all of his competition for pennies on the dollar, consolidating wealth.
Yeah,
that's what he did. He didn't fucking save the country. He fucking crashed the market and then took advantage of the crash that he instigated.
Yeah,
and also, by the way, also, wait, one more point. The Solomon Brothers, right? That's the banking institution. That was Building 7 in 2001. Building 7, Solomon Brothers building. Sorry, go on.
That was my strategy with the gun channels. We were going to sucker y'all onto the gun tube, and then when y'all fail, we were going to scoop up all your channels for pennies on the subscriber.
You're going to make a fortune, brother.
Hey!
You ain't gonna make much.
Hey, you weren't supposed to tell anyone about that.
Honda figured it out.
Honda.
Sorry.
Curse you! Foiled again.
Again, I don't know anything about GMAPs. That's not public information, and I am not suicidal in any way. If I show up missing, I love my family, and I am not looking to be gone. Just so you guys know.
Honda, did you
gotten away with it too if it.
Did you?
We would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for Honda.
Honda, you did take care of that rotted tree in your front yard, though, right?
No, it is still standing, and
I would stay well away from it for the rest of your natural life.
I've been petitioning the fellow roommates of the house to do something about it. However, the cost of getting it removed is not cheap. So
it's the price of a damn chainsaw. Go get one.
Dude, I was just going to say, nobody had axe is too much work.
The height of the tree and things, like there's like homeowners association stuff going on with it. I'm not sure.
How big is it? You ain't got people that are willing to climb up and cut limbs off. Be like monkey. Never mind. Yeah, I don't want to do it either. But
hey, that's racist. You can't say that word.
No, that's racist.
No, monkeys climb trees, dude. I was a monkey.
Shit.
That's racist.
You're just digging a hole now.
This week in obvious shit. Fish swim in water. Monkeys climb trees. News at 11.
There you go. No, I used to climb trees and cut limbs. I'd climb them like a freaking monkey and cut limbs. And yeah, not anymore. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, you ain't got anybody there that's good at climbing trees and running a chainsaw. Come on.
So the monkey tree news is done. Back to you, Midnight Range TM.
Bam.
So midnight.
Right.
Michael Bloomberg is running for president. What are your thoughts?
Who gives a shit? I'm over him. Next story.
I would say that probably the only good thing to happen for that is that it's going to help split the Democrat primary even more so.
It's gonna have the Democrats scattering. Oh, they're already turning against him. They're like, this is bullshit. He's gonna buy the election. Like, yeah, no shit. Just like everybody else
all
tries
do.
Also you have to realize that this guy has his own TV station where he can run, basically free ads on.
Wasn't Occupy Wall Street like basically like a leftist kind of like virtue signaling type organization that cared about like the things that the left people care about and would basically vote Democrat in general, right? And then the very person who's going to be running for the presidential ticket under the name of Democrat, the person that they would most likely vote for, is the very same ilk of billionaire, investment banker, intergenerational inheritor of wealth that they are fighting against in the first place. Don't they find irony in that? Don't they actually see what's going on, or are they just blind?
A
Hey,
little column A
Ehana,
and a little column B.
don't tell them. Don't tell them. Don't tell them. Just let them go blind. Don't tell them because they're yeah.
That's how you get hairy palms.
Whoa.
No, that's a different symptom.
This is a family show. Take it easy.
No,
Breitbart News. Virginia sheriff will not enforce
This ain't no family show.
Unconstitutional gun laws. Some families watch it.
Your family?
Yeah, maybe.
No.
Amelia County,
As long as the
Virginia
little
sheriff
guy's in bed.
Ricky L. Walker is making clear that he will not enforce unconstitutional gun laws, even if ordered to by a judge.
Well, speaking of family show, what the hell, man?
What?
What kind of weird ass ads are you looking at that you get that?
What are you talking about?
Ape, you're on an ad.
No, down. Right there.
That guy, that crazy
No,
guy?
up.
Seven.
Up one.
Oh.
Ape's in an ad.
What are you talking? What are you searching
What,
for?
how to
Prostate
boost
out there?
prostate? Is that
there
what
you
you're looking at? And your Trump is on a roll or whatever.
Apparently, Ape has prostate issues. He doesn't like to, talk
38
about it live on air, though.
38 of the most decorated servicemen in American history. That would be a cool article. I'll have to look that one up. So, the Washington Post quoted Sheriff Walker speaking to Amelia County residents, saying, "My oath to office is to uphold the Constitution of the United States." He explains that he would not confiscate guns, even under a judge's order, if the law at the center of the judge's ruling was unconstitutional. Walker added, "That's what I hang my hat on." On November 23rd, Breitbart News reported that the Second Amendment sanctuary declarations were being made in numerous Virginia counties. Appomattox, Giles, and Dinwiddie counties all declared themselves to be such sanctuaries. The Post reported that Charlotte, Campbell, Carroll, Lee, Patrick, and Pennsylvania have all approved resolutions that defy Richmond to come and take their guns. There you go. Virginia Delegate Ken Plum has already introduced legislation for the incoming Democratic majority to pass. Plum's legislation would outlaw private gun sales, which, while such a move would criminalize a neighbor for selling a 5-shot revolver to a lifelong neighbor, it would do nothing to stop mass shooters who almost always get their guns via background checks.
Mm-hmm. So they passed that, and they're like, "Oh, there was another mass shooting. Guess what? We didn't go far enough. Now we have to go further." And then they're on to the next step. That's why it's called the progressive movement, because it never gets to where it's going. It's always on the move towards that. And we need to fight against it every step of the way, because they're going to keep fighting for it every step of the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's all I had.
Well, I said we were talking about that the other night. The GOA actually put out in their legislative emails the actual federal legal document to have your town, city, borough, county go gun free in an actual what the hell is a proclamation, for a binding proclamation, and you can actually print that off and take that and present that to them, and have them decide what they want to do with it, if they want to vote on it or not, put that into effect.
You said who did that? GOA.
Yeah, Gun Owners of America.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty much what basically it's like a 5 or 6 page document, legal document that their attorneys drew up that is good in every state. And just basically all you do is just fill in your county, city, town name, whatever the case may be. Just fill that in where the blanks are for it to fill it in. Run it through as a resolution, and you're now a sanctuary gun state or county or city or state or whatever, town. That all became thanks to the Democrats and their sanctuary cities.
Yeah, I have noticed that there's a lot more counties and states that are 2A sanctuary. They're saying nope, just like the sheriff that said nope. So,
and the thing of it is, there's nothing they can do about it. If the sheriff says no, it's no. He's not going to enforce it. You're not going to enforce it. Period. And bottom line.
The nice thing is if the sheriff says no, he's going to be right there with the citizens saying no. If push comes to shove, you see what I mean? And so, yeah, that's.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully, yes. But,
I mean, I feel like anybody that would. I mean, for somebody like him, for a sheriff to come out and say what he said, I think he's a dude that's prepared to lose his job over it. I mean, you gotta be. You can't say something like that.
But the thing of it is, he can't lose his job unless he gets unelected
or removed by the governor.
You can't fire a sheriff.
Right.
The only person that can serve him or arrest him is the coroner. The sheriff is the ultimate law enforcement power of the county. Period. That's it. He can't get arbitrarily. They just can't arbitrarily come in and say, "Okay, well, you're fired." It doesn't work that way because it's an elected official. The governor can't just arbitrarily remove him for any reason. It has to be a legitimate dereliction of duty, and that's only under due process.
Well,
okay, but would they consider not enforcing these laws a dereliction of duty?
No.
What's due process in a red flag
because
law?
It's a violation, a direct violation of the Constitution, and he's bound by the Constitution.
So, does a sheriff have the opportunity in his area,
county,
to determine? Does he have the ability or the right to determine laws?
He has the right to enforce what he feels is constitutional and unconstitutional.
Right.
Okay.
But by his own, but he gets the opportunity to do that by his own.
Absolutely, because he's the elected official.
His own.
Yeah. He's the highest elected law enforcement official. Just like the big stink was when they first came out with the Domestic Violence Act. Okay. Right. You could actually walk into a building and have a guy standing there with a smoking gun and 5 dead bodies and turn around and go, "Okay, I'll get back to you on that. I don't know if I'm going to arrest you or not. I'll let you know within the next couple of days," and leave. But if you show up and Jane has a scratch on her finger, well, he's going to jail for domestic violence. Even though she had nothing to do with that scratch, but because they were there for that, she had a scratch, that was it. And finally, the sheriffs finally got together and said, "Look, this is bullshit. We know full well that this isn't happening this way, and that's an overreaching law, and it's unconstitutional." So a lot of them just started not to enforce it, to the point now where that it's actually, unless you get there and Jane's laying there with a black eye and gushing blood, they don't.
So what you're saying is law enforcement are actually starting to use their head and not follow stupid orders by whatever law, and they're using their head to see, oh, what's going on here, and we're thinking about it, not following it by the book and going, we got to do this by the book.
Most of your sheriffs do that, and they've been doing that. Even in California, even in California, there's a lot of sheriffs in California that don't abide by their state laws. They do the bump stock crap, and magazine restrictions and all that other stuff. They don't abide by it. They don't enforce it. Now, if you're out of that county and you get nabbed, that's a different story. The other issue that they're having right now too is, I guess, with the which one was it? Massachusetts or Minnesota? Whichever the one is, the one that had the suppressor. But that was actually back in court again. The judge actually reinitiated that lawsuit again, saying that the state has every right to determine whether they can have suppressors legal in their state or not, and it's not up to the federal government to do that. And originally, it was thrown out by a Democratic judge, and it was refiled, and that was overturned, and now it's back in court again. So there's a good possibility that that's going to go up the food chain.
I'm still thinking. No, I'm just thinking of how much money is being wasted on all this. It just, we were talking earlier, Bloomberg and money, and it's like talking about the impeachment. Money wasted. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a shitload of money, man.
Oh my God, it's just dumb.
It is a lot. It is so much. It is. It really is crazy.
Well, what was it? 15 or 20 million that was spent on the Russia Gate, and that's actually still going.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's not even over yet.
Yeah,
that's nowhere near the actual cost of that. That's just the amount of money that they can track on paper as to what they spent on it.
Exactly.
Now, would you sons of bitches just have these attorneys starving in the streets more of a burden on society? These people have to eat.
No, they can choose another profession.
I'm sure they'll just start eating each other.
I was thinking the same thing. Choose another profession.
It's like the Donner Party, like we were talking about earlier. They'll just start eating each other.
Well, yeah, that falls along the same lines as what do you call 1,000 lawyers at the bottom of the ocean? A good start.
A good start. I didn't catch the Donner Party, but yeah, I caught the reference there. Yep. Okay. I come in late.
I think that was last. I've been going for like 5 hours straight. The chats are running together at this point.
Is that all?
Sure they are.
They just all start eating each other. Donner Party, yeah.
Dahmer.
That's one of the reasons I'm afraid to join these chats on Sundays, because I figure that's always a possibility. It's ultimately going to be the result of one of these chats.
One YouTuber gets eaten and the rest of us survive.
Yeah, Midnight went sideways. Midnight may break out his
one dies so we can all live.
To serve man.
He makes the ultimate sacrifice.
As soon as the host starts saying it's kind of cold in here, I'm out of here.
It's a little chilly.
Little chilly to go with your little water.
Little
yeah, but
chilly.
Midnight says
Bob? Where's Bob at?
Chilly.
Oh, that's why they call it chilly too, right? Because of that plane crash.
A little chilly. What are you saying? It's cold, Midnight? He's like, no, we're making some chili.
That's what I was saying.
Well, Snob already left, so we can't hack any more off of him.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to break out your book that says to serve man, right?
Oh, yeah. Snob.
That's before your guys' time. Wow.
No, it's not before our time.
And on that note.
On that note.
Yeah.
On that note, we'll see you next week.
Guys just don't know good TV.
Yeah. I think we could end this one on with cannibalism. Sure. We'll do that.
So
like the real candy. What's the best cut?
Yeah, that's
Honda, what's it now that you're here? What's it feel like to be part of a winning team?
I mean, much like it felt last time we had our competition and we won, and you guys were sitting over there with that loser mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because you cheated.
Well, I mean,
I'll take it when I can get it.
There's like 9 of you and 4 of us.
So Honda, what you're
True,
saying
but
is
you did
if I
have
had stayed on your chat, you would have won.
Yeah, if you weren't yelling out answers before ringing the buzzer. I'm just talking shit.
Now, to be fair, Honda, you did have Roro. Which
that's true.
Is like the Rain Man of kind of obscure and...
I don't know how the hell he does that shit, dude. Like, he knows, like, the date of every freaking little piece of equipment going back to, like, 1850.
All right, so here, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do something here.
Googler. There's people.
I don't know. I just figured he hangs out at the right kind of bars that have the good kind of trivia.
So, Kinky said, I'd eat 2 live moo. I'm gonna ask Kinky a question here that's probably his head might explode.
I can think of probably 2 places he'd start.
His Rumo? What the hell's a Rumo?
Is that like a Roomba?
Yeah, I told you he was so wound up he couldn't even type.
No, he was just so excited. Yep.
His hands were vibrating. He couldn't even type right. That's very politically correct of him to say rump. I didn't expect that at all.
Robot fingers would vibrate. Human fingers quiver.
Oh, sorry.
I don't like that word.
Didn't mean to offend you.
Sounds
sorry,
sexual,
buddy. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Now wait a minute.
Okay, don't be accurate.
Moo.
Quiver is where you put your arrows. Wait a minute. Okay.
Now, Moo, you just put this out in the chat. Where is the wing on a cow?
Same place it is on a buffalo. Stupid.
No, because buffaloes are a lot different than buffalo wings are different than cow wings.
6 of one, half dozen the other. I really want some wings, like really bad right now, like super bad. I want some wings right now.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Damn it! Why'd you do that, buddy?
Oh, it's a curse.
Too bad it's Sunday because your restaurant's not open.
It's a bummer, right?
And the
Actually,
fact that it's like 2 a.m. there.
Could you make a buffalo? Could you make a buffalo turkey for Thanksgiving? You like buffalo wings?
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me tell you.
You make the turkey
so let me tell you a secret.
Hot that everybody passes out trying to eat it.
Honda, I got a secret for you. Okay, go into my channel and go to my playlists and go under Thanksgiving, and there's some buffalo turkey wings.
Orders. It's a lot of rules and orders you have to deal with in this chat.
Yeah,
you just gave me a lot of work to do, but I'll do it.
It's
I'll do it for your hat, but that's it.
Now, on that subject, this is the closer before Thanksgiving. Does anybody out in the chat have any questions, comments, or concern about cooking for Thanksgiving? Since we've got the
now's your chance. Now's your chance. Food questions, Thanksgiving questions.
I'm gonna be boiling the frozen turkey. I figure I'm gonna give it 20 minutes before we sit to the table. Is that plenty, or should I use a 15 better?
As long
window?
as it's under 10 pounds.
It depends on how hot your boiling water is.
Right. As long as it's under a 10-pounder.
Now, G-Webs, are you using regular tap water, or are you using distilled water before you dunk your turkey in?
Oh, good point. Yeah, tap water. These people don't deserve any distilled.
Okay, because I was gonna say, with the distilled water, if you get it into a nice clean pot, it won't come to a boil until you put your turkey in. So you want to get it as hot as it possibly can, then just dump the turkey right in.
That's a good point because water boil.
I don't know, but if he's using Tucson tap water, it may just blow the hell up. He may not have a turkey left.
I thought Tucson tap water was just.
I visited Patriot, and he lives near Flint, Michigan. I've heard so much about their water. I took a 55-gallon jug of that Flint water home with me.
Okay, there you go. Good deal. Good job.
Did you just pour it straight into your gas tank in the van? You probably drive home on that shit.
Oh snap! That would have been a good
Nah,
idea.
you
Fuck
just-
it right there. And then...
No, G, you don't
Rocket
want to
fuel.
do that because you last thing you need
There's
is
so much lead. You just
Well, it catches fire, so it would have been cheaper than gas.
I'm picturing G like putting that stuff in his, dumping that shit in the gas tank of the van, like in Christmas Story when he puts the stuff on the bottom of the saucer, and he's like, "Later, dudes," down the hill like fire flying behind him.
Have a 30-inch flame go down the exhaust pipe. Yeah, there we go. We're out of here.
You just gotta empty out your toilet tank into the storm drain.
Not only would Flint water power the vehicle, but it would also be like nitrous oxide to the vehicle.
G pours that into the gas tank and takes off like a nitro funny car, and he yells to Patriot, "See you later!" And Patriot thinks he's making fun of him being blind. He's like, "Fuck you!"
Pure methanol, bitches.
It takes off in it.
The only problem with the Flint water is it's kind of like that JP4 zip fuel with the boron in it. You can run it, and you can run like a scalded hog for a while, but eventually it's going to get a buildup, and you're going to be throwing clumps of shit out the tailpipe at the people behind you.
Hey,
sometimes clumps of shit is good. Blind them with the clumps of shit.
Oh, I'm not talking like the soft stuff. I'm talking chunks of boron oxide that'll harder than lead. Found out the highway patrol does not take kindly to
we ain't
that.
talking about no soft stuff.
No,
we're talking no soft.
we're talking about you haven't had any celery with your 5 orders of buffalo wings.
Oh,
that's
the blowhole.
them's fighting words.
The blowhole.
You are a blow.
Mess with my
Shut up, Knight.
blow hard. Kiki Sphincter doesn't want to fuck with my blowhole.
Well, you bleached it. You took all the incentive out for him.
Oh
wow!
Oh, Jesus!
I think I need
how much bleach? Have you seen the size of my blowhole?
No one wants to see your blowhole.
No one wants to say
no. I have no desire whotsoever.
I object to the blowhole sharing.
Night Strike is like, shut up your whore mouth. Shut up.
Shut up.
Some dude named Amber shared his blowhole and Black Cat show a couple weeks ago.
It was more than the blowhole. It was all the dangly bits.
I heard.
Oh wow!
That was very disturbing.
Yeah.
Well,
that one.
But yet intriguing.
That's a life lesson to all you aspiring live. That's a little life lesson for all you aspiring live tubers. Don't put the link in your chat.
Don't do a Black Cat outdoors. That ends badly sometimes. Sometimes you might end up okay, but sometimes you might not.
And the whole thing is, he was on the duck, so he had to So Black, I'm thinking this is
you see nuts and sometimes you don't.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to proclaim this right now. I'm saying this is Sphincter Gate. Black Cat did this on purpose so that we would be talking about it months later.
It was Black
Cat. Did we get a bunch of subs for that? Did like a bunch of people like find his channel because everyone was talking about him? It might be a conspiracy if that's the case.
Well, we're all talking.
All the YouTubers would be showing whole.
I mean, despite the fact that we're using an independent.
Owl and Anchor. Owlandanchor.com.
Dear God, you do that worse than Snob does. And that's saying something.
Yes, he does.
God damn it.
However, yours does not seem to have given me cancer of the ear.
You got that damn ear cancer.
But I have a sexy voice.
You're getting kinky all wound up. Now he's out there screaming about
kinky.
Oh, yeah.
He's out there screaming about Anchor.com.
Sound of
Sphincter Gate 2019. God damn.
All right.
Sphincter Gate, yeah.
Oh.
2 o'clock.
shit.
2 o'clock in the morning. Let's shut it down.
Actually, it almost sounds.
Sphincter gate.
Actually, that sounds more like a product to help with incontinence. If your bowels are loose, remember to get a latch for sphincter gate.
Oh fuck!
Sphincter gate.
So was that an on that note moment?
Sphincter gate.
What? Oh my god!
I think you
Y'all
killed-
nuts.
I think you killed Armament and Access. I don't know.
No, I'm still alive. I'm just laughing. I'm having a good time, and it's just funny. Y'all are goobers. I'm a goober too.
OwlinAccess.com.
Owlin Access.
That's owlinaccess.org.
That's right.
Can't shut it down. Still got 21. Kiss my ass. I can't shut it down. I'll shut it down with 21. I don't care.
Careful now,
I'm
Black
tired.
Cat might just take you up on the idea, and then you'll have to fight Kinky for it. Last thing you want is a cat fight over your sphincter hole.
Jesus Christ. Is it really 23
Black
now?
Cat's asking what the blowhole. What's the blowhole for? Says Black Cat.
Blowhole.
Christ, there is 23.
The blowhole. What?
Whoever's kid that is, tell them it's time to go to bed.
Yeah, who's exposing their child to this clearly reckless thing? That must be a red flaggable offense.
Hey, kid, go to sleep. You don't want none of this.
Who's ever kid that is, Epstein will fuck you.
Jesus Christ! I'll put him to bed.
Uh-oh. You mentioned Epstein then to bed. That's
Way to go.
concerning.
Way to go, Honda. EH.
We were just
Honda.
having fun and fooling around, but you went too far.
You know what they're doing? You know what my kids are doing right now? And I'm not going to stop them. They are shooting, what do you call them? Nerf guns at targets.
Heroin? That's bad parenting.
I'd like to reel that back a little bit.
Dude, he hit my hand with a Nerf gun dart from like 20 yards.
On purpose?
I told him to. I was like, hit me in the hand. He's like, got it, and he like sniped me.
Well, little do you know, Honda, he was
lucky.
actually aiming for your head.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's like that thing from Dale Gribble where he throws the knife at the mannequin between his wife and his father-in-law, or his father, and said, "Stop it, or next time I'll aim for the mannequin and hit you."
Yeah, let's see you do that when he moves up to a 22. Then do it, huh? Tough guy.
Get the 22, boy. No.
Think of the churn. Think of the churn.
Bitch.
How about a paintball or an airsoft? No. Ouch. Here, shoot me in the hand with a paintball gun. Ow! Yeah, I've been there.
Better yet, you gotta get one of those pepper balls frozen.
That's what they use in South Africa. The Bora farmers. You know about that?
A frozen pepper ball would defeat the purpose, right? You'd want it to be liquid, so when it hit, it explodes. Otherwise, it would just bounce off and then be the pepper ice.
Yeah, I don't think they freeze them. But they use paintball guns with the pepper balls.
Well, no, I thought the pepper balls were like compressed powder, whereas the paint's liquid, and that's why you freeze the paintballs, because it.
Oh, I thought it was liquid.
I don't know. I've seen
why
ones
you trying
that
to
are-
freeze powder. No.
No,
Your argument doesn't. You're not trying to freeze powder.
No.
So go like this.
No, you
Pepper
freeze the balls so that they're
temperature,
colder.
then frozen paint.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who cares if it's cold? You trying to give
Yeah.
it a cold massage? So
No,
go with the regular temperature pepper ball, and then a frozen paintball, and then alternate back to a regular temperature pepper ball, and then back to a frozen paintball. Let's go with that.
How?
Because then they get frozen. And
Powder, slap that hurt. Powder, slap that hurt. Powder, slap that hurt. Powder, slap that hurt. And by that
Powder,
time,
my
they're-
lungs, my eyes are on fire. I'm this, and then smack. Ow, I
yeah,
think
by
they're-
that time they're on the ground going, "Ah!"
Well, I'm just saying, there's Bora farmers who are using those to defend their farms against gangs with AK-47s successfully. Not every time, obviously, but sometimes they're able to fight them off with just that, which is pretty amazing.
No thanks.
No,
I'm not saying it's a fair fight or that it's a fight you want to have.
Well, if you ever find yourself in a fair fight, you need to rethink your tactics.
Agreed.
No such thing.
What?
Alrighty.
Now,
Get the hell out of here.
is this
What?
when
No such thing as a fair fight.
Is this the gun giveaway?
Midnight's like, let's get the fuck out of here. Holy shit.
Yeah, sons of bitches.
It's like this.
Is this a gun? Yeah,
Sons
G,
of
are you
bitchin'
you can give away a gun. G, if you're giving away a gun, I'll stay live here.
Oh no, not me. I thought it was the host responsibility.
He's no.
Yeah,
You get, you get.
Wait, yeah, I thought
You got
was giving
a
away.
couple of guns. Everybody tucking once.
Hold on. It is the responsibility of the host to give away a gun, but it is the responsibility of the captain of the losing team to buy the gun to be given away.
Oh, let's see. There's tradition.
What's the cheapest gun we can find right now? Hold on, let me go to Gunbroker.
Probably one right behind you.
High Point.
It's happening.
High Point's $109.
What is the cheapest? I guess it would be a handgun would be the cheapest thing, or would it be like a shotgun? Do you think would be cheaper?
Yeah. No,
What about one of them?
The High Point's $109.
I guess we can just go firearms in general, right?
Or we can just go buy an air gun and say that's a gun.
Right?
You can get under $100.
And then we're gonna go buy it now.
Well, you can.
And we're gonna
get a single
go
shot
price
12
from low to high.
You could get a used single shot 12 gauge for way under 100.
So I can buy you a SIG P320 chassis for a 45 ACP for $1763. And that's
No, it has to be a functioning gun.
That's not a gun, knucklehead.
That's Texas.
Knucklehead.
Yeah, it's the drop-in. It's got the thing on it, right?
The thing
No,
that
it's
goes
just
up?
the chassis.
No.
That's just the chassis. That's
No,
like
that-
me, that's like me saying.
in a file.
Okay,
That's
here we go.
That's like me picking up a grip and being like, "Hey, who wants to buy this gun?"
How about
No,
or
it's
a
like
polymer
picking up a strip
or an
blower and go,
80%.
look, it's a gun, right?
yeah,
it's
okay.
like
Here you go. Here's a stripped lower for a Glock 17, $35.
What, really? That's not
I
a
heard
bad
somebody
deal.
say, wow.
Yeah.
I said, wow.
You could build
Shipping's $5
on the 17.
so $40. You can,
$5 for a serialized Glock lore?
as far as I can tell.
It's only a frame.
Oh, yeah, it's only a frame.
See,
You're
he
right.
knows. See, the kid knows.
Yeah, hold on though. But a Glock frame is a serialized part.
Yeah, the Glock frame is a serialized part.
Well, I'm looking at it to see if it has. Yeah, it totally does.
But
Serialized
yeah, it does.
part.
Deal.
Yeah.
That's a deal.
All the
How much
frames
does an
are serialized.
80% cost?
More than that.
$35, right? Yeah, 80% or costs like
Yeah,
$80,
it's got the rails
right?
on it and everything.
So that's a super deal in my opinion.
All right. Well, I'm not buying it. I'm sorry.
Indian giver.
Oh,
I just wanted to see. I was just
Just
entertaining the
destroy the-
thought of how much it would actually be.
Give away one of your kids. Tell your kid to come over here with his Nerf gun. Give one of them away.
Nerf
Kid or the
gun?
Nerf gun?
No, the kid.
That seems more like a punishment for winning than a reward.
Yeah,
How
sure.
much
Good
for
point.
Cheater.
How much would you get? Your Riemann. Send me your Riemann.
Yeah, I think it was. Wasn't it the Mayans, right? Like if you they all played that like basketball game thing where you couldn't use your hands, you had to use your feet and kick the ball
called
through
soccer.
the hoop.
Yeah,
Right?
it's called soccer.
Except for there were like these 14-hour-long games, right? That would just keep going until finally a team would win.
soccer.
Until
that's called
finally a
soccer.
team would win, and they would take the winning team and sacrifice them.
No, that's called football. It's football.
They would like murder them in front of the cheering crowd. Like finally they won. Now let's murder them.
Yeah, you know that sport. It
Like,
was
are you aiming for the hole? I don't think you are. And if like your teammate is like good and he kicks the ball through the thing, wouldn't you just want to like kick him in the nuts? You know, like
Balls in the hole.
What?
What?
You said to
You're supposed to
snob and
look
have
like
him
you're
have one
trying,
of his
not
foot
actually
off.
try.
Said to the snob and
It
have him
was
take a
this
knife to his
game where
foot.
they took two. It was this game where they took 2 flat nets and they tried to catch a bird like poorly, and it would bounce back and forth across another net, and they would run around and have weird scoring.
Bam, badminton.
Badminton? Badminton?
Badminton.
Badminton. You're a bad.
Yeah, it's just like that
badminton.
other sport, except
yeah.
they're using rackets, and if there's a thing, and then you do this.
A
And
They
then
don't play that. In Michigan. They don't play that game in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
It's illegal there, unless it's in a sanctuary
Where?
city.
Or an anti-sanctuary city.
All right, quick, Ape, go do your outro. Quick, let's get out of here.
What? Outro? Don't you start demanding stuff here, mister.
Christ, we
Son of a
got 9 people.
Yeah,
Hurry up.
and all you
All
assholes.
right.
Shit, we
And
got
all you
26
assholes out
watching.
there with your alternate extra accounts, it ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. Bullet T Justice and
Got
all you
20. Got
jerks.
27 watching.
Yeah, I know, but most of them are fake.
So you
I gotta
All
learn how
right.
to do that.
All right, so shameless self-promoting shenanigans aside, ladies, gentlemen, and Jonases of all ages, thank you for watching Midnight Range TM's The Closer. Be sure to check out gunchannels.com for more pro-2A content. Gunchannels.com is a community focused on firearms, built for shooters, by shooters, for conversations loosely related to these, kind of. This concludes our regularly scheduled programming, but we'll be back sometime tomorrow with open lobbies, maybe. Also, keep an ear out for Black Cat Outdoors.
Maybe.
If you feel like it.
Not really. No.
Gunchannels.com, Monday night programming at 5 p.m. Eastern. It's hasty headlines, never enough ammo. Get your daily news and commentary from a man who will constantly tell you to go fuck yourself. 7 p.m. Eastern, it's
Keep
the
going.
Polite Society podcast on Facebook. At 8 p.m. Eastern, it's Clover Tax MOA Monday, only on Instagram, and Hawaii Volcano Squad's Locked and Loaded on YouTube. At 9 p.m. Eastern, it's Never Enough Ammo, a.k.a. Mr. Matt's Guns and Geeks podcast, The Week in Geek, where they'll talk about The Walking Dead and The Mandalorian. At 10 p.m. Eastern, whenever they feel like it, let's play. And every midnight, and every weeknight at midnight Eastern, it's the Daily Gun Show.
That's all they talk about.
It's not all we talk about, dicks.
Hey,
No,
I like Wolverine, but yeah,
If you're pulling unique 2A swag, go over to gearwebsites.com. If you like any of the packages you see here, or the Kalashnikov visualization recognition deck, great, now you got me fucked up. Or an Old West patch, or a Mr. Knives, or a Mr. Knives sticker. Go over to gearwebsites.com because puppies need food. Also, if you happen to like this wonderful chat system we're on, go over to guntube.org as a free and unrestricted Pro2A video platform. If you happen to like it, go over to Patreon and throw them a couple of bucks. And remember, hot dog is a sandwich, Slim Jim is candy bar, and never bleach your sphincter gate.
Hey, wait.
What? Bleach your what? Did you say bleach your sphincter gate?
Yes. Go ahead, do it.
Yeah.
Don't be a bitch. Do it. All the cool kids are doing it.
Or, go eat.
As long as it's not like the Tide Pod thing,
So, Black Cat is going to be opening up a late night litter box here. So go check it out. If you want a link, he said give him a yell. Black Cat Outdoors 44 at gmail.com. All one string on there, with the numbers 44. Black Cat Outdoors 44.
Indoors.
Yeah, Black Cow Indoors. Okay, check them out.
That's racist.
Oh, and remember, if
anybody
said anything offensive or slightly off-color during this chat, please direct any and all complaints to our complaints and return department at shooting left of center at gmail.com.
Right, always. always. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. So, see you next week. Have a good Thanksgiving. Depending on what happens, Obviously, I'll be off Thanksgiving, so if nobody else is live, maybe I'll open up a live chat Thursday night. We'll see what happens.
Cool.
Don't put any money on it, but maybe.
No,
Right?
bet the farm.
I'll put $5 down.
There you
I
go.
got $5.
You know
I got $5.50.
You know where Patreon is. If you want to put $5 on it, right over there. All right.
Why-
so thanks,
why
guys.
do you
I'll
like
see you.
that?
I don't have the thing. Where's the thing?
What thing?
The thing?
Donate.
Usually between your legs.
The thing. Where's the thing?
The thing. Wow.
I don't have a thing because I don't have enough viewers to have a thing. I'm a loser. Thanks for nothing, jerk.
Give me your address. I'll mail you a stamp.
There you go.
Midnight, you don't have a thing, but you have a thing? Do you have a thing?
You got a thing. I got some things. But anyway,
Fine.
until next
So-
time,
He'll
thanks
get
for watching.
$5 worth of postage.
Take it easy. Bye.
Y'all not being great.
Motherfucker.
Urinating in the refrigerator.
Motherfucker.
He's too old.